No, I understand. It was wise of you to bring them here, Count. They'll receive the best treatment in all of Ustalar. Early signs of bleaching. This is the response to stimulus. An Iron Fang veteran? I think I recognize this. What brought him here? Now, for their admission records, may I have their names?
Cammy.
That's me.
Hello.
As the group of you walked into this room across the hall from where you had duped these two cultists in the records area, you still clutching your folder, refusing to show it to absolutely anybody, tucked under your coat, tight to your chest. You met Biggs, a pretty
Briefly.
decently large guy. He kind of lives up to his name. Easy tried to pull the same thing, tried to convince him. Biggs was having none of it. You saw a moment in his eyes of not simply that he didn't believe Easy, but that he was scared. This man was clearly terrified of the group of you, and before you could put together any more than that, you were out. It happened before. You had just fallen asleep. No trigger, no reason, no warning. Just out like a light. And again, this time, you wake up on the floor, cold stone, feeling much like you had originally. But when you look up, you see around you not a room with shelves laden with boxes and packages and bundles, but again, a strange, unfamiliar cityscape. This one, again, different from the ones that you have seen before. Around you is an open platform. You are on a ledge, a patio, perhaps even the very top of a building, surrounded by a pale, open sky in all directions. There is a wide roof above you, held up by 4 pillars at the corner of this platform that's maybe only 30 feet across in any direction, but you don't see any visible way you could have gotten here. No stairs that lead up to this point, no ladders. You're simply laying in the middle of this platform alone.
I kind of slowly rise to my feet, and I would like to peer off the edge of the platform.
As you move towards the edge, you can see the sky, and in the distance, low, jagged mountains start to come into view. And as you get closer, the view over that edge drops further and further and further down. You are hundreds of feet up on what must effectively be a needle-like spire of stone at this height. Below these mountains, you see a lake come into view, wide, reflecting the pale sky, and at its shores, the edge of this city you're in the midst of. It's ruined, ancient, looks like it hasn't been touched, lived in for generations, if not centuries, but the buildings themselves don't look that old or esoteric. They're packed tightly together, those that still stand forming a network, a lattice almost like lace below you of narrow streets and alleyways connecting at random angles, rarely forming long stretches of roads, none wide enough to pull a cart through. But near all of these buildings, towering over the streets, almost just shrouded in darkness by the shadows cast the buildings themselves. You see one little bead of light out near one edge of the city. It looks almost like the flame of a torch or a camp at this distance, but it doesn't flicker, it doesn't waver, it is a steady, bright yellow beacon. As you look at that, you see another down near the shore of this beach.
I kind of look around for a second and call out, "Hello? Is anybody here?" Because, well, if not, I guess then, if nobody responds, I'm going to kind of pinch myself trying to check if I'm pretty sure I'm dreaming again. And understanding that I seem to only get, like, brief moments in these dreams and that nothing really seems to matter. And if there's no other way down, I think I'm just gonna step off.
You do. Off the edge of this platform, 200-300 feet up above the cityscape below you. And you fall. As you start to fall, that brief moment, that sensation of weightlessness before you start to tumble down, you do just tumble, taking no effort to keep yourself upright or to control yourself in any way. You fall tumbling through the air for only the briefest moment before you feel yourself hit ground. You hit something hard. It hurts. You bounce off at an angle and you roll out into the street, feeling like you can't have fallen more than 10 or 15 feet. You look around, finding yourself in one of these narrow roads, this 300-foot tower, still just a massive spire next to you, looming, piercing up into the heavens.
I go for the light, wherever the light is.
It's hard to
Kind
tell
of brush
from
off
here.
my face. And
Now that you're in the streets, you can't see much in any direction. They are, again, errant angles and jagged alleyways. You try to make your way towards what looked like it had been closer than the shore of the lake, pushing your way down these roads that are much longer and wider than they had looked like from up above, but still constantly intersecting. None of them one big continuous road. And you make your way down there, what you're sure was that direction, before turning another corner, and as you do, seeing that tower again in the distance, 3/4 of a mile away. It must be the same tower. There certainly wasn't another one, but you've only moved a few hundred yards, taken a few turns, and somehow you've come around a corner back facing it again, but from what must be the other end of the city. If there was another one of these towers, you didn't see it from the top. But in front of you is one of those beacons of light, now much larger, like a bonfire. A small, almost rectangular bar of this light with no real visible form or shape, just light, set in the middle of an intersection of about 8 of these roads, almost coming out like the spokes of a wagon wheel. No big plaza, no big opening, just running through each other at this point.
I kind of chuckle to myself, sort of like realizing there's nobody here to stop me or to do anything, and I kind of like reach forward, just excited.
Adult supervision.
Yeah, I'm like, I reach forward, excited. I'm just gonna like try to grab it.
As you get closer, it's big. It's bigger than you. this obelisk of light here is a good 10 feet or so tall and about as big around as a wide oak tree. You reach up to go put your hands on, and as you do, you hear a thunderous splintering of wood. And your eyes jolt awake back in the room in Briarstone Asylum. The same room in which you'd fallen asleep with your newfound friends and one unfamiliar face gathered around you, weapons in hand, facing the door you'd come in through, as you see parts of that wood splinter away and claws piercing through it. I need everybody to roll me some initiative.
Oh, shoot!
Welcome back.
Oh my gosh! Please?
Interference.
Can I use stealth?
Excellent.
You could absolutely use stealth. They couldn't see you in here for sure.
Okay. Thank you.
All right. Easy, who I keep getting distracted now because I'm not used to the new art on the initiative tokens, and I'm like, damn, it's incredibly handsome. Easy,
This
this extremely average-looking man.
This is the
This
sexiest
is
man
like a
alive.
6 on Galarian, so like that's all we've asked off times on our adventures. How does ananybody live here? Well, this is what an average looks like. So there are upsides to life in Galarian.
Dang, dude.
Everyone is inconceivably hot. What do you got, Easy?
17.
17, pretty good. Cam,
Average.
Average. 13 on the die is 19.
19, little better. Trey,
10.
10, not as great. MD.
15 total.
Oh, we're getting a nice little spread through the middle here.
So if everyone's hot in Galarian, that's just normal to them. So that doesn't matter.
That's true. Their scale is
If
about the
everyone's
same. It
hot,
would just be really
no one's
depressing if they
hot.
came here. Marius.
It's plus perception, right?
Is it Marius? Marius or
Marius.
Marius. So my brain just parses
Yes.
it as
Right.
Marius, and I
So
have to
then
like
10 on the die for
I have to
18.
get Marius into my brain. 10 on
It's
that for
me,
15, you said?
Marius.
18. Right in that middle. 17, 18, 19. 15, 10. And our two friends here at the door. Cammy's got absolutely no concept of what's going on. Whoa!
Whoa.
Wowzers.
Ooh, it's like a thunderous hero point now. I like it, honestly. The cutest gnome should not be without a hero point.
Aw.
From anonymous supporter, take a hero point there. Sully, welcome back.
Thank you.
Alrighty. Guy, ooh.
I don't like that. What? Why do they always go so fast?
That's good. I don't want to go first. I don't even know who this is yet.
Wow. I can't believe those are just the rolls. I didn't even roll that high. They just have actually a really good modifier.
Let's get them out now.
Yeah, it's better to go
Get 'em out
there
of
than
the-
slapping
get 'em
you
out
guys
of
in the face.
What do you mean, you guys?
Well, you mean you guys.
No, you mean me.
That's fair.
Not only do I get to watch them down me, I then get to watch everyone else act before I get to do
You
nothing.
gotta believe. You gotta believe in yourself. You, Cammy, wake up and hit a splinting. The rest of you know full well where we are here. You would come into this room, shut the door behind you, hoping to just kind of keep out the ghoulish forms of the cultists that you had gotten in with the day prior. But no longer content to simply wait in the records room. They are now throwing themselves at the door, not even trying to force it open, so much as just ripping through with their clawed hands. The first of these ghouls,
That's not what
Uh,
they looked like before.
A lot happened
That's
when
really
you were asleep.
interesting.
punching their hand through, pulls away a chunk from this door.
Chonk.
The big old just chunk missing out of this. You can see both of them at the doorway, just flailing and gnashing, trying to get through. They're saying something, but they are, if they're words, they're incoherent, just wordless, enraged, screeching and growling from the pair of them. He tries again, pounding against the door, and a third time, bringing enough of the door down that with this thunderous splintering of wood here that wakes Cammy up on the floor, the door splits open entirely. A chunk of it still hanging onto its hinges and two bespoke pieces, and the rest of it shattering across the floor. The ghoul of the man takes the opportunity to rush through the doorway. He doesn't say anything. His eyes are wild, and he moves on all fours like an animal as he lunges in forward towards Trey. And he jumps at you, throwing himself, his full body up, to try to just seemingly grab on and bite into your shoulder. It's going to be a 20 even to hit
That
you.
will hit.
And as he bites down, his teeth sinking in 5 points of piercing damage, he bites in hard, getting up above the pipes of this furnace armor you have. And so you got the die in your hand. You
I'm
know what
ready,
I need.
yeah.
I need a fortitude save.
Well, I explode. It's a hard one.
Hard one. Okay. Fair enough.
So I'm pretty sure this is
I need a second fortitude save.
Oh,
Whoa.
That's
Hey,
a hero
wait.
point.
That is a derpo, a hero, pointo.
I'm
If you want to
re-rolling
blow it
the
immediately,
one.
go for it. All right.
2 a 2. No. That's good.
That's
not
not a
one.
critical failure, probably.
So that's a 11.
Yeah, that made it not a critical failure. Like that's a big
huge
difference,
difference.
honestly.
Yes.
That's
No, so the route that we were about to take versus the 2, I'm very glad.
honestly,
You don't
like,
know how big of a
That's a big 1 to 2. That's a real big 1 to 2. I'll tell you that. That's a good one to reroll. Oh, Phil's still bad, but oh man, that's much better than critically thought. I still need the second fortitude
Yes.
save from me then. Thank you, Vixel. That one's important.
That was clutch.
And Bar save the whale.
That'll be
No,
Mario,
that's an 18.
take a bless. 18 total.
I
As
have a
his
plus
teeth.
9.
Okay. I thought you rolled another 2. That's a 9. I was like, are you so serious right now?
As his teeth sink into you, you feel for a moment your shoulder, your chest, even your arm, the muscles seize and lock up. But you, with a tremendous effort, push the ghoul off of you, fight back through this, and it just is replaced with a bit of like a numbness, a lack of feeling through those areas. They still seem to work. And as he lands sprawled on the ground, you throw him back up, he just looks up at you. A wordless hiss as he readies to jump again. Cammy. You would recognize enough, even in their distorted forms, with their clawed hands, their pointed teeth, their red eyes. These are clearly the 2 people from the records room before you fell asleep. You have no idea how long it's been, but they are fully, like they're not just a little sick. These are full and completely, clearly undead.
Oh my goodness. Am I babushka'd in the little
I think
hammock, or-
Envy's kind of probably got
You're
you.
swaddled.
You know where you are.
I think before drawing any attention to the fact that I awake, oh my gosh.
Late birthday present to Cammy in the form of 2 hero points.
Holy cow,
From Link
dude.
1429, playing for the player team for the first time ever.
What a hero.
Stack her up.
Nice. The other one's back here. Thank you. Oh, that's so sweet. I think before drawing any attention to him, that the first thing, that MD would the first notice that MD would have would just be me quietly saying, "Ah, shoot, what do you guys do to those guys?" And if I can I see them?
Yes, they're, you can. You're kind of with MD.
On the
I'd say
shelves.
he's got like cover around. You can kind of see him through and around the shelves. He's definitely got cover. The one in the doorway you can't see. The one jumping on Trey, you've got some vision of.
Okay, excellent. Then I will not find any reason to exit my little hammock.
You got a nice papoose. He's gonna stay here.
And as I'm saying that line, I just quietly like twiddle my hands out of the little hammock, and I would like to firstly cast Needle of Vengeance onto the enemy, so that should he try to continue to attack our friend Trey, that he will take 2 mental
I
damage
just love the image of
each
you.
time he does.
Nice and swaddled up, just like, where did it
I want to imagine the lizards doing the same thing. Like,
You
they're both
just sitting
like,
on her head.
And as I kind of rub my eyes saying, "Ooh," I will use that sound to cast Daze as well.
So what is
on the
that?
same target, so that'll be a will save.
So, well, is it Needle of Vengeance have a save as well, or is it just the days?
It will be. So sorry, what?
Does Needle of Vengeance have a save too, or does that one just happen?
I believe it just happens.
It's a hex.
Oh, fair enough. So will save for the days is going to be a 10.
Yeah, get wrecked. So that's gonna be 4 damage, and that's not a critical fail.
Not unless it
What's your
was
save?
more than
18.
They need
Yeah.
to be an 8 or lower.
18. Yeah. Of course, it's just 4 damage.
Now, what kind of damage does Daze do?
Mental damage.
Neat. All right, Marius.
all right.
They're not
All right,
immune to
well,
that kind of
I'm
stuff.
not happy about these guys just kind of barging in here. So I'm going to hunt prey on the guy who just ran in.
Makes sense to me. Understandable.
And yeah, I guess I'm just gonna kind of pull out my bow. I guess I might kind of like back into the corner a little bit just to give myself a little bit of space and kind of stabilize myself. But pull out the bow, and yeah, I'm just gonna go ahead and take the what's it called, double shot. You know, the hunted shot there.
Pew pew. Target, back up, shoot him twice.
Ugh,
The Ranger 101, which is what we do.
That's a 2. That's not going to do anything. That's a 19, though.
Ooh,
so I
that
think
probably
one
does
will do
something. Even with the -5, what's that going to give you total?
-5 plus 7, so 21.
Okay, so yeah, 20 will definitely hit.
Yeah.
21.
D6 plus 1. That's 6 damage.
6 total damage. All right, and as these arrows fly out easy, this all kind of explodes into combat very quickly. What do you do?
Well, this isn't the first time we fought a ghoulie. And so we're going to handle them coolly.
Oh, gosh.
Their faces
forgot.
look sour like lime. Let's handle them quick this time. Their efforts to spook us are noted. Duly. And we have a little bit of courage.
Oh, my gosh.
And then, yeah, I'm just going to fling one of my nails straight at it.
Give Derp another 2 hero points. I think he needs them.
Oh
He
my
does. You guys are getting loaded today.
Whoa!
Getting stacked.
They
Thank
missed
you,
us.
Pixel. Now, give me your attack roll, easy.
Whoa, natural 20.
Oh.
Yeah!
Okay, give me your damage, then double all of it.
GG easy.
Double it.
GG.
Double
easy.
it.
2
Oh.
plus
Your modifier.
my modifier, 4, 6, 12. Well, then 13.
14.
14. That
14.
doubles too. Everything
Okay.
doubles. Yeah, like unless it explicitly doesn't, everything does. So 14 points of damage. Your nail is going to shoot out, and you got a couple of arrows. One hitting good for Marius, and then you flinging a nail right. I'll get it someday.
Marius.
Marius.
He's never-
Mario. I'm not. I'm gonna write
Marius?
it. I'm writing it phonetically on the back of the initiative token.
Mario with an S at the end of it.
Yeah.
Marius.
E.
You gotta
Us.
get
I'm
the
writing it phonetically on the
bosses.
back of your
Toys R Us.
freaking token. Marius.
It's me, Marius.
And I'm gonna
Oh my gosh.
Marius. Editing.
Oh, I
We're
remember
doing it. I'll get there. Marius. You shoot this nail right into the side of his head, and that ghoul, as Trey pushes him out of the ground, just hisses, and then this double barrage knocks him down, and he just kind of sprawls out against the shelf. He is gone.
We got
Nice.
MD.
Nice.
Am I in a position? So these shelves in this room, are they like? How are they? Are they standing shelves?
They're standing shelves. They are affixed to the floor. Because Big slamming into him with his big old swings wasn't knocking him around. Like, they are functionally part of the structure of the room. They're floor to ceiling.
Okay. I wanted to push it over.
Yeah, not a room to easily topple him, unfortunately.
Oh, she's awake. Good. Free action under the swaddle. Brace yourself.
I'm gonna take fall damage, dude. You can't do that to me.
The child is released.
Be free, my child. I'm then going to walk up to the other door that's south of here and I want to kick it.
All right, fair enough. Move up. Make me an athletics check.
Can I kick it again?
You should.
I got a 14 total.
14. Yeah, 14 isn't. You jammed the lock on it, so you're
Yeah,
gonna have to kick it out of its frame. It shudders. It cracks outward a little bit, but that's not gonna be enough to break it out. You could do it again. It's not an attack when you're trying to break it, so you can just
16.
16. 1 big foot, 2 big
Do
feet.
you still get the plus?
Oh, yeah.
Is there a
The
plus
door,
one?
it's a skill check, not an attack roll. The door buckles a bit, jumping in its frame, but doesn't crash inward
This is a
or
failed
outward.
skill check.
It's, what?
This is a
shut
failed
up.
skill check.
No.
Show me how to do
It
it.
is a failed skill check, Easy. It's a failed athletics check.
I look back to Easy for some advice.
I'm gonna kick the bookshelf near me. It's like you use your legs. You gotta use. Make sure to kick with your legs.
Kick with your legs, not your hands.
Give me an athletics check.
Okay, it's athletics. It's a 16.
16 also does not succeed. Similar to his 16. You just kind of kick the shelf next to you. I'm so glad I gave you celebrity. This is so much better than I thought it was going to be. Trey, your party's kicking all the furniture.
I'm going to rush forward and snagging strike, sword up over my shoulder to bring it down as I bring my hand to push their head to the side and swing into them.
Okay, give me an attack roll.
Well, pretty sure it's dead. That's going to be a 30.
Yeah, that'll crit.
Yeah.
That's what we call a crit in the business. That's
I'm
definitely
In the
using-
business.
The +1 striking long sword.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
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 That's 14 on the dice alone. For a total of
36, right?
38 +1.
Oh
Plus
my
1,
gosh.
38. Oh, if you had another +1 in there, they'd be dead to the massive damage rule. So, what? Trey, how do you end this?
Go up to it. Oh, these damn things are all over the place, aren't they? Push its head to the side and sword cleave deep into the chest cavity. Pull it out with a wet schlick.
And you just drop the body and she crumples to the floor in the doorway, absolutely unable to fight back. They are, regardless of their undead form, they don't seem to be exceptionally powerful. They're
No, but if
Not-
I had kept that one, it would have been powerful.
yeah, well, that would have been bad times. Not terribly threatening. You have this this bite in your neck. It definitely hurts a bit. The 5 damage doesn't feel good, but the pair of them are dispatched without too much difficulty,
6 seconds.
leaving the 5 of you. They pretty much break in the door and you just cut them down, just like that. 2 shots. Trey walk forward, smack. That was it. That was like precision. That was a SWAT, like a reverse breach.
Reverse SWAT.
Yeah.
SWAT broke in and got immediately taken care of.
Cleared.
Leaving the 5 of you again left in this room. A room now stained with even more blood and bodies. As Cammy, you have a moment to look around. You can see Biggs' corpse just kind of crumpled up in the corner next to the door MD's trying to kick in or out nearby you.
That was quick. I go back to Cammy. You're awake.
I crawl out from under the like a toddler stuck under the peekaboo blanket, and I kind of peek out. I'm like, "Yeah,
Welcome back.
oh,
is
you
the
messed
glitter
him
bomb
up,
awake?
dude." Oh, how?
Hey, Cammy's awake, y'all.
Yes. Hello.
morning.
Hello.
Hi, I didn't know you were actually real. It's good to see you're alive. And
You
awake.
guys didn't tell him about what? Sorry, no. Who are
I mean,
you?
you were just kind of asleep that whole time. Wasn't really sure what was going on. I'm Marius. I'm Marius Greyfall.
Oh, okay. I am Cammy.
Yeah. I kind of got stuck here. You know, I think you kind of know what's been going on. So, but
Sort of is. I kind of like lean back towards MD. Is he a cultist?
He doesn't have any of the markings, and it helped us kill Biggs. So
So he's like cool then.
he's cool enough.
You seem like a cool dude.
thank you.
He falls in the same boat of everyone else. He's not trying to kill us.
Okay.
Oh,
Speaking-
also,
Okay. Yeah. No, that's it. That's pretty sick.
What exactly were these guys?
Ghouls.
Ghouls.
cultists.
Okay.
Oh,
Dead.
Okay,
I
so
got some survival advice for you. We've learned very, very quickly by piecing together information. Don't fall asleep outside of the chapel. That happens.
Okay. After seeing this,
Or-
I think that'll be a little bit easier.
Or
yeah.
you turn into a doppelganger.
Maybe
Okay.
one of those piles of flesh.
Oh, Cammy.
Who knows?
Ooh, a pile of flesh. That sounds.
yeah.
Oh, okay.
Here, this is for you. I'm going to take Cammy's personal belongings out of my bag after I shoved them in there and just throw them at her.
What is he? What is he tossing to you? This room here is the personal effects storage they've just gotten into, and they had found what would have been stored when you were admitted to the asylum in the first place. It would have been little more than the clothes on your back at the time.
I feel like what we would find would be like a little dress, almost like a tie-dye, like dyes streaking down it of multiple colors. Maybe a little corset and a jacket for colder weather.
Tie-dye
with a-
style or like rainbow strips?
I think like sort of rainbow strips, but tie-dye in that like it's streaking, like it's all flowed through. A sort of like torn hem as if she shortened it herself to fit, and anything that was in her pockets, which is to say, like a bunch of random crap, like a bag of just like seashells, like a bouncy ball,
A marble, literally just a rock, about an inch and a half of twine.
little
like-
rocks with like little painted like smiley faces and flowers on them, and like a handful of like nuts.
Everybody
Things
needs
of
their
that
handful
sort.
of nuts.
It's troll rations.
It's
It's just gnome trail
some
rations.
stuff.
Dragon
As this,
snacks.
as this gets tossed over to you,
Trash.
though you don't remember it necessarily, you don't recall any of this. It does feel familiar to you. You get this thought in your head that it feels almost alien that it is yours, although you've got no memory of when you got it or ever wearing it or picking any of this crap in your pockets up. It's definitely your crap.
Nice. I kind of like turn it over in my hands and just look up at MD and I say, "Oh, that's nice. I gotta find some. I got big pockets now, so I could even fit more stuff in here."
You do you. Trey, you want to get that bite looked at? How are you feeling?
Feel fine. Bit numb.
And that's a feeling that would have passed pretty quickly by this point, just being replaced with the regular pain you would expect from their fangs biting into you. You would have felt it, and it's apparent to everybody else looking down at the body on the ground that their teeth are much like their fingers having been extended in these claws. They are longer, they are pointed, they are a jagged maw built to rip and tear. Not, I mean, you saw them literally yesterday. They look perfectly normal.
Every day I spend in this asylum, I hate it. Yeah, Cammy, can you look at Trey? I know you just woke up. Can you rub the sleepies out
Oh
of your
no,
eyes?
I feel
and-
so refreshed. I'm
That's
ready to
good.
go.
Hey, Easy, there's something I want to do in the records room. Come help me. While she's checking out Trey, I want to go see if I can't find some of the patient's records that are in the asylum.
Okay.
Since we have starting from recent going back, because I feel like that'd be the easier way to do it. Recent records going back.
And you're looking for...
Like the kids, like patient
Oh,
records.
you're looking for the people, okay, the
Yeah,
people that are
there.
like in the chapel right now,
Yes.
trying to find records or something.
Yes.
That's a great idea.
I said asylum and chapel.
Yeah, as you go through that, if you want to take the time, just give me a medicine check real quick and see if you can get Trey back up.
I would love to.
Marius, you
Oh,
are staying in
I
here
get my-
with these two.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
You would rifle through the records, and you wouldn't actually have to go. It's not really a shock. They're sorted by year, and I mean, children probably haven't been here for terribly long. It wouldn't take you a long time to come across Debus and Brenton's admission files and find a little bit of information about them. And only a little bit further than that, just a month prior, you would find Bates, the boy with the broken leg. And it wouldn't be till a little earlier in the year that you would as well find Maves. Looking through all of theirs, I'm assuming Brent and Debus are the two that you're
Yeah,
currently focused on based on the experiences
there's some
that
experiences.
you have had. Debus was originally admitted, they are both orphaned, and neither of them afterwards have taken to it terribly well. Brenton is, I suppose, easier to explain. He is, there's probably medical terminology for this, but almost when he arrived, like non-functional without Debus. Like he-
Catatonic.
not like catatonic, not like completely comatose or anything,
Disassociative?
but like he
I
would
don't know.
not talk to anybody. He would not look at anybody. He would not engage with anybody except Debus. His brother was the only person, and he would not physically be outside of literally like hanging onto the bottom of his shirt range of his brother. Debus, meanwhile, was suffering from something that sounds to be not terribly dissimilar from originally Zandalus's cause for being brought in here. He was having nightmares to the degree that it was having a physical effect on him. The two of them had been brought in here by a caretaker, not in Thrushmore, but in a village a couple days' travel down the road, who had been taking care of them after the loss of their parents and didn't really know what to do with both their conditions worsening. The asylum had taken the two of them in as a pair and been watching them ever since. They've been here for about 4 months. And just by the description of how they were when they arrived and what brief notes you can see in their files, clearly an incredible amount of progress has been made with Brenton. Seeing as he is, as far as you can tell, basically just like a normal child. Cool. He talks to Tolman, he plays with Maeve, he talks to you and anyone else who comes in. He seems to be fine.
Okay. Cool. I'm taking all these files out, and I'm gonna keep. If they don't stop me, I'm gonna spend some more time in here looking for everyone else's.
I'm busy
records.
getting my boo-boos.
Well,
Yeah.
I'm sure this is taking more than 10
finding
minutes.
those files will be about the time that it took for you guys to patch Trey up here, and I imagine the three of you would probably come rejoin them in the records room.
I produce a lollipop from my newfound gadgets and things.
Perfect.
Clip on it.
You're gonna be okay.
Thanks.
What flavor is that? I have no idea.
Blue.
Ah, nice. That's my favorite. I'm pretty sure.
The group of you regather in the records room. You can see MD and Easy. I'm assuming you're helping with this.
Yeah, and also get back the picture of Grandma that we gave to them.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, I'm
take
just
that
gonna
one
take that
back
back
from
from
Loomis's file.
Yeah.
Rooting through, finding the files of your companions from the chapel. Marius, of course, you've met them all briefly. You've been with them for an evening. You would at least, it would be apparent quickly enough what they're doing.
You guys want to help me?
We trying to get everybody's?
Everybody in the chapel.
It'll take a minute, but sure.
I got nothing better to do. I mean, we got a lot of things better to do, but
I'm assuming you tell me there's some names. And
yeah,
I'll
I
look.
passed out some names.
With 5 of you together, it's not terribly difficult to do, but it is going to probably take you about an hour. They are spread through a pretty wide spectrum of the last few years. Several of the patients being a little bit more recent, but most of them seeming to have been here for a year or longer. A recurring theme that you see with a lot of these, even those files that have a marker on them for closed, that have been moved over into a separate section for previous patients, it doesn't seem like Briarstone often took patients for short term. They didn't onboard many people that they weren't planning on keeping for 6 months to a year at the minimum. So you're going back pretty far before you're finding like Loic, the old man, and before you're finding Mira, the mute woman that hates everyone. But eventually, after about an hour or so, mistrusts is probably a better word. Mistrusts everyone. After about an hour or so, you would have assembled the files of all of these people. You would have Mira's, you would have Bates, Brenton, Debus, Maeve's, Loic's, Baisley's, and Danae's.
And I'm going to take them all and put them in a safe place.
Oh, the bag of holding.
Yeah, the rucksack of many things.
Notably, the one that might... Are you looking through them or just collecting them?
Out of curiosity, maybe just like a quick.
You can't help
open-
yourself from not, right? Like, you had their file. You're not going to not look.
But I feel like
it fell.
This one has
MD
almost as much blood
I
as
feel like
Cammy.
MD himself
Hey.
wants to understand how to approach these people personally.
Right.
He's trying himself to be as personable as possible to these people. So yeah, he would flip open and go, cool. And
I'll give you the two like interesting high notes on the ones that you would find rather than running through literally everybody. And then if you have any questions, you can just ask me. Danae has been here by far the shortest. Danae's only been in Briarstone for about 2 months. And she was here because she had almost a total and complete nervous breakdown to the point of like almost that's went to about catatonic, almost shutting down completely, physically disengaging. And she was brought in borderline comatose. Like she shut down to the point where she wasn't even responding to like a lantern in her face. And only 2 months later, she seems to have not only come all the way back up from that to the point where she is one of the only patients. I think she's the only patient that's taking guard duty shift with the asylum employees back at the chapel. She is adamant in several places to her doctors that she is better. She is better than she was. Like, this entire experience has given her a perspective, almost like hardened her to make her understand a little bit more about what's important to her and what's important in her life. Living.
It's pretty important for life.
Mira and Bates have the same last name. Mira Yapchik, Bates Yapchik. No one at the chapel has ever mentioned they're related. And Mira is in here for something very similar to what the group of you have been experiencing. Retrograde amnesia.
I'm gonna guess it's slightly different from what we have, though.
Definitely a different presentation. But you first met Mira when you were trying to help Bates, and she physically interposed herself. You aren't confident she knows that they're related.
It's just instinct. All right.
Do any of the other files have any kind of warning level on them?
What's their SCP?
Not like that's a thing.
Also,
Um,
I'm
You're the
assuming
only
that with storytelling it is, but is there indication in those paperwork that they are related and not just like, the same last
It's
name?
very clear in the papers that Bates is Mira's son.
Okay.
She had him quite late in life. And he was brought in because they think something might have happened, something traumatic might have happened to both of them, and they react in different ways. But Bates,
It's Galarian, I mean.
yeah, it's Galarian. Bad things happen. They were brought in together, Mira for this retrograde amnesia, and Bates for something actually kind of very similar to what Breton was, where he was just very unresponsive. He is he's a fair bit older than the rest of the kids. Like Bates, the broken leg, he's like 12 or 13. He should be like a functional person, and he kind of is at the camp, but he's not terribly responsive.
Yeah, shut down.
Yeah. Like, his leg is broken, but, like, otherwise he's physically fine, and he doesn't really, like, talk. He doesn't talk at all. He doesn't speak. And it's definitely not because he's deaf, because you guys can clearly tell he can hear you when you're talking, he can look at you, he knows what's going on around him. He just doesn't.
All right, no more prying. And I'm going to put them away. Got all the prying out of my system.
So that's no warning levels then?
None of them. The only...
They're special.
There would be one note on the inside of Basilee's folder to keep her door locked at night because she likes to wander. She's a bit of a sleepwalker.
She's
You a
cheerful
wanderer
and
too?
happy.
Yeah, no, that's what I have. That's what I
A little
have.
sticky note that says, "We'll eat your
But that's
ankles."
just like on the inside of the folder. That's just like on the inside of the folder, just like an administrative note, just like, please keep her door locked at night. Please, I'm literally begging you. If I find her in the hallway again, I'm going to slap you, kind of thing. Nobody
Says
has,
that, word for word.
yeah, nobody has anything like a warning label or like a separate note. Or
Nobody.
anything in there in these folders.
Nobody?
that you've found.
Nobody.
Nobody of
Not
the ones,
anybody?
Nobody, of
Nobody,
the ones
right?
we
The
found.
grandma, I guess, had the whole like criminal.
Well, not the ones of these
Yeah.
ones, the people from the chapel.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah. I'm sure there's
Awesome.
another one
That's
somewhere.
so cool.
You did a little more than sleepwalk, though. You did some stuff while you were sleeping.
You did some sleep talking too.
I did.
Oh yeah.
You like turned wood into bark and like had colors flash.
Oh,
confused
You became a
people.
glitter bomb.
Well, when
Yeah.
the lights went out, everything went back to normal.
I
You
don't know
couldn't
if
see
this is
that.
for real right now.
That's right. You couldn't see that. We could see that. He couldn't see that.
I was unconscious.
Yeah, things
I was
got
there,
weird.
man.
Hey, Lizard,
Okay.
tell her all about it.
I'm trying to think. You would be able to point her. It would be kind of smeared under ghoul blood now. But where she was convulsing on the floor, where there were like almost those spatters of multicolored paint out from under her body. That's still there.
That's still there.
It's like it
you
looks
know
like
in-
the tie-dye shirt she pulled out almost.
You know in
Extremely
anime,
bright
when
ropes
people
of
throw up and it's
multicolored.
like a
Did
rainbow.
I forgot if you, did like the
was
effects of
you.
like the wood growing like revert?
Yes,
Okay.
That was probably an illusion.
but the paint is
I just
physically
couldn't
still
remember.
there. That's and as you look down at it, looking closer, it's smeared underneath the blood. You can wipe the blood from this most recent battle away, and the paint stays because it's not paint. It's not on the tile. It isn't something. Well, it looked like it came like manifested like a splat. It isn't a separate thing on the top of the stonework of the floor. It is a recoloring of the stone. It is the stone.
It looks
now
like
just-
someone died here.
It is like neon sticky note bright.
Yeah,
like
this
they
was-
are.
That was you.
Oh, I see.
It made my head go foggy for a little bit.
It did?
Yeah.
Are you okay now?
I feel fine.
Okay.
You were out for an entire day.
What? Are you serious?
Yeah, we went
It's
back.
tomorrow.
Oh, it was today.
Today is yesterday's tomorrow.
Oh my gosh.
It's been a day.
Okay, and I did that while I was out,
Yeah.
and it made
I
you
hope
feel
so.
okay. Okay, and I just go and I stand clear on the other side of the room. I'm
Way
just like,
back
I'm
away
just
from this
gonna,
bright splat.
I'm just gonna maintain some distance.
You're not sleeping now.
I had the flu. That's what the file said. So
Oh,
it's magic flu.
magic flu. I've been carrying you for a whole day, so
Don't do that next time.
just leave you in the middle of the room,
Tuck me away somewhere or something.
filled with ghouls.
This is the-
What? No,
You're
no.
fine.
I
Hey.
don't.
I wouldn't worry about it.
No, you're right. It's probably nothing.
Yeah, I didn't hurt anyone, so
We'll figure it out later.
it might
You're
say
not
something about it in
spewing
your
colors.
file.
Yeah.
I don't think it would. I don't think it would at all. But she does whip it out and starts reading it again. I don't think there's anything like that in there. She's like flipping through.
Read and walk. Let's get
Just
moving.
while I'm here, can I like quickly look to see if there's like anything hidden, like hidden safe, anything falling under shelves? stuff
What
like
are
that?
you all doing as you go to move to the asylum here? You sound like you want to be searching for hidden things there.
Yeah.
That makes sense to me.
Interests?
What?
Scale.
Van Trey's wood looking for someone to whack and stab with his incredible new stabbing implement.
I'm gonna be seeking. I'm gonna
Okay.
keep an eye out for danger.
So we got
Recalling
searching
knowledge.
team. We got Cammy, we got Easy.
I'm gonna be investigating.
Thinking, using that brain. Easy.
It's my favorite.
Also looking out for more ghouls.
Looking for what?
More ghouls. Watching.
Okay.
Look in the
We'll have
corners.
the searching team on the ends here, and then we got the middle with the scout and investigate.
I thought the best.
Glancing around the room, you had some time to look through it yesterday after your battle with Biggs, and it does seem like it's been pretty heavily pilfered. Obviously, the cult's already here, so anything that would have been a valuable or useful tool for survival or defense has long since been taken by them. What's left is there are some errant bits of clothing and weird little knickknacks and things you'd find in Cammy's pockets,
A couple of
but
paddywhacks.
not much in the way of valuable goods. Grippy had moved back out into the hall. Cammy, with the door leading into this hallway, seeing that the final door across the hall has already been opened, that fourth one in this hallway here, leading into a room that looks like it is pretty much fully collapsed. The door doesn't work. The door doesn't even open all the way. It is just full of stone and rubble, and it doesn't look like there's any space that like even you could barely squeeze into in that room. Leaving nothing but the door at the end of the hall. And well, my searchy boys, the three of you, go ahead and just throw me a perception check real quick.
I'm good at this.
I should open my book.
I'm really good at this.
Would you get a 7?
Nice.
I rolled a 6.
Hey.
You guys doing great on the dice rolling here. It sounds hearing a whole lot of very excited people that are rolling.
You got
Really
3 times
good
better
Yeah,
than me.
over here.
I did okay.
He rolled 3 times better than I did.
Did you roll 1 and 3?
I rolled a 3. I rolled a 6.
Yeah. I got an 18 plus 8 for 26.
Okay. 26 is
I got
real
12.
good. You got 12, easy.
7. 2 plus 7 is 9.
Solid.
It's dark in
You
here.
guys are looking. You would definitely notice, Marius. I want you to know I have it in like 4 different places in the backside of my GM screen right now. I have entirely replaced my like card with all the Norse Foundry and Eldritch Foundry sponsors. I know all that. It just
looks
says
like a graffiti
Marius.
my name
It's
everywhere.
like it's on your initiative token. It's on this big index card on this paper. It's like everywhere I look, it's just Marius. I'm gonna get it. Anyway, you approach this door. It doesn't look really any different than the rest of the doors around the hallway. But as I assume Trey and MD in the front move up to it,
Yeah.
you see that around the edges of the door, where it sat in the frame, normally there's a little bit of space between the door and the frame. Because it needs that. The door is not a two-dimensional object. It needs some space to swing open. And it needs a little bit of clearance to fit. There is none. This door has swelled a bit so that it is flush with the edges of the frames on the side on the top. And with a 26, you would even notice that there are some small little droplets seeping through where the door and the frame meet.
What color droplets?
Easy's coming around the corner with this light. You can see they are a dark red.
Ooh. This door looks kind of spongy with blood. It's
As
They
he points it
mentioned
out,
a-
the rest of you can all see
Yeah.
it as well. It's not obvious. They're very tiny, like little beads of sweat in these cracks.
The ghouls mentioned a blood door, though. They said they couldn't get past the blood door. And that's why they turned into ghouls, because they couldn't get back for help or Sandless's protection.
I'm gonna touch it, like feel it.
it's a weird door.
The door does not feel strange to you.
Not spongy.
The door
Blood.
feels like normal wood. It's not warm to the touch. It's not wet. It just feels
Kinda.
like a door.
Just toss a little pebble through and see if anything happens.
Well,
Pebble screams.
like at the door. The door's not open.
No, like
it's
just
like it's a
oh,
closed door still.
I'm gonna throw the rock at the door.
The rock bounces off the door.
And the rock's fine.
Rock's fine.
They're messing with the door.
My favorite.
It explodes now. Like,
In this pile of rubble, I want to see, like, in this room that we can't get into, I want to see if there's something nearby. I can just a long, sharp piece of wood that I can use as a spear.
this room has really collapsed. So like there would be large fragments of timbers in here, and you could certainly find one that's not too big around for you to hold well. Not like what Biggs is the telephone pole he was just waving. Something more manageable and something you could pretty easily whittle down to be usable.
Yeah, just a long spear. That way, we're single file in the hallway. I don't like
It
that.
is an asylum. It's not really a great scenario for mounting an offense. Anyway, he's rooting around in there. You have a weird door.
And the door's normal besides the blood. It's like
I mean, the
wood.
door is not as other than what I explained to Marius, which again he could point out and show to all of you. You can clearly see it is swollen in its frame. It's not like it's not literally convex. It's not like it's an inflated door. It's just the wood seems to have possibly soaked up enough to fill that extra like quarter inch to the edge of the frames, and just a little bit of something is seeping through.
I'm gonna open it.
We should
I'm
get-
good.
What if what if like what
Stand
if there's
back.
a lot of blood behind it?
Cammy, easy, stand back.
I can do that.
Go
I
that
run
way.
to the other end of the hall. As
Cammy
far
runs
as
all the way
possible.
back down to the
That's
administrator's
fine.
I'm like
office.
What if-
pressed up against it.
Where are the rest of you guys? Where are
I'm
you
gonna
guys
be
going?
Right behind Trey.
We
I
got
can't do much with the door.
Trey,
but
we
I can
got
just brace him.
MD,
Yeah.
Marius, Easy.
Current position looks about right.
Marius is kind of right back behind MD, and Easy, you're
That's
like,
also
Go
a good
and get
place.
the timber from Biggs. Battering ram.
perfect.
We got this.
I'll go get it. Don't worry.
You Cammy all the way at the back of this. Trey reaches out,
Just gonna look at everybody like they're crazy.
You should hold your nose
stacked
just
up
in,
behind you.
just in case. Just
I put on my clothespin in case it's stinky.
what if we're underwater and the water's blood?
You see them all just kind of stacked up behind you, ready for anything here. You've fought giant rolling mounds of flesh before, so I mean, anything can come through this.
What's a little bit of blood gonna do?
It takes a little bit of effort to turn the handle on this door.
It's swollen.
Because it is swollen. There's a good amount of force that's kind of like holding it in place. And as it's swollen out into the frame, it's swollen forward a little bit too, so the latch is up against where it holds. But you turn it, and you would hear like a loud audible click from the amount of force on this, and exactly 2 of you are going to have a great view of what happens. 3 of you, it's going to be so fast, you are going to have no idea what just happened to you.
Blood. Oh boy.
Easy. You have the best. You're off.
Okay, I knew.
You're off
underwater in the water supply.
on the side here. And you see, as he turns the handle, in 1 instant, the door goes from closed to slammed back against the wall open as a floor-to-ceiling wall of blood gushes through like a solid physical object. It looks like a jellied mound. There is so much of it with so much pressure as it absolutely slams into Trey, MD,
I told you to close your mouth.
and Marius. There's so much of it. It shoots with so much pressure. Very little that actually comes through the door in front of you, but some of it certainly does spray and splatter throughout the effects room where you're standing. Cammy, you have enough distance that you have like half of a second to watch the rest of your party disappear into this wall of blood as it surges down the hall, all the way to the end, slamming into you as well. I need all 4 of you that are in the hall to make reflex saves.
No!
I'm good at these. You knocked my
This is
17.
the second time I've seen a bad thing happen to everyone.
You get a little bit of a
From
fine
the other
miss.
side of a door.
Yeah, from the
Nice.
doors are your salvation, Easy.
Yeah,
Love
dude.
doors.
They're great for you. We'll start with Cam. You're there in the hall. I'd say you got the best chance of this. To put a +2 on your reflex save.
Oh, nice.
Just because you've got some extra time to react to this.
That's going to be a dirty 20 then.
Dirty 20. What do you try to do? It's an instant. I don't even know, because the door is a little up in front of you. Are you trying to race it, open the door, and dive into the office before it hits you, or what are you doing?
I think I'm going to try and race through the door, hoping to, even if I can, get behind the door as it's opening and then brace some of the splash. Just as soon as as soon as it starts coming, I'm like, oh, no.
That's a good idea. You pull the door open, and you rush forward, open it up into the hallway, and it opens up out into the hall so that as it opens, it's in front of you. And it hits with so much force that it crashes into the door, slamming it shut again and knocking you back, but definitely taking the worst of the impact.
Okay.
You're not going to take any damage
That's good.
from this, but you are absolutely going to see everything go completely dark as you are fully submerged in an ocean of blood.
Oh, no.
Trey?
So it would be a 6, but I have these hero points right here, and I'm gonna
Probably
re-roll it
use one of those. This sounds like a good idea.
because the door slamming in front of me pushed me back and actually flattened me out across the ground as it slammed me down.
Okay.
So hopefully most of this just flows over me and leaves me in place. For a 21.
21. Yeah, the door will physically hit you and knock you back, and while you disappear from sight in an instant to Cammy and Easy, it surges across you. And as it passes by in a second, you're left in this hall absolutely completely slicked, floor to ceiling red. As is
I've
the
already
entire front
been
of you
here.
again. It keeps happening to you. MD.
I got a 25 total. As I attempt to dive into because I'm standing next to the door, Easy is behind. I'm just gonna attempt to go. Oh no!
You just in the moment with the hit from this tumbling in the room in front of Easy. Marius.
27
You
total.
guys rolled great on the put the damage dice down. Nobody failed. It was DC 20 and all 4 of you made it. Holy crap.
Only because of these.
Yeah.
I have a +3, by the way.
Marius, what do you do?
So I think since I was just far enough away, mostly just kind of like covering my face and mouth and like a little bit of a jump just so I kind of like, not like surfing, but just kind of like don't get like pushed under as
Blood
it goes
surfing.
over, but kind of more just kind of like ride on top a little bit.
And you're able to quite literally ride this out as you see as this passes, the three of you, Easy just looking completely covered in blood, this whole hallway drenched. And you look down the hall, and the hall is now about 20 feet shorter than it was, as there is a standing vertical wall of blood, the surface still rippling and waving, and Cammy is nowhere to be seen. Cammy, you are completely submerged in this. In absolute darkness, because like dark vision doesn't help you can't see through blood. You blunt it with the door, but you feel weightless, floating. The blood is so much thicker than water that you aren't even sure which way is up after you get tumbled by this. What does anyone do?
I drop my bags and dive in.
Help
And
me!
he
Help me!
sprints down the hall towards the pile of blood.
Is there like bags in this room? Like,
I'm
Yeah.
going
I'm just gonna
into-
cover my shoes in the bags.
We left a small child unattended for 2 seconds, and she's now
won't-
drowning in blood.
I'm following
It's
behind
She
them.
would take up a
Very bad
defensive
day.
position in the worst possible place you could stand for this one.
I'm following behind them.
All right, so the three of you, Easy's like,
We're
my
gonna like
shoes.
daisy chain holding on to
just
each
got
other
these
as we
new
go.
shoes.
And the Easy's like, oh, gross, and starts changing his shoes. As the three of you run
Well,
down
to be
the
fair,
hall.
he can't see that.
That's fair. He doesn't know.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
he
know
doesn't
what
know. He
happened
doesn't
to
see
Kenny.
it.
I just saw.
He's
I
but
don't
you
wanna
see MD sprint out of the room. The three of you kind of like linking hands, and MD, without a second thought, pushing into the blood here. And as you do, you hit it. You feel this kind of same thing. You're pushing your feet on the floor, and then suddenly you just like completely lose traction because this blood is so thick you float through it.
That's why we're
it
daisy
is-
chaining.
It is dense. It's difficult for you to move forward here. And as you sort of flail and struggle, what do you do to try to make distance? Are you swimming? Are you trying to push off of something?
I'm just brute forcing my way like just trying to push myself. If I can get on the ground, just push.
Make me an athletics check to swim if you have anything that applies to swim checks.
I got a natural 20.
He do be swimming. though.
Cammy, you drift for a moment. You can't breathe. You can't see. You know exactly where you are. You saw it come. And just shocked, you float there for a moment before you feel a hand grab you around the ankle and you feel a pull. You have no idea what direction or who, but in the next instant, all of you fall back out of this wall of blood. All of you completely coated, tumbling into the hallway.
I don't think I can swim.
We okay?
Disgusting.
I'm okay. I am okay.
I'm gonna go back to my rucksack of mini holding things. I'm gonna open it up and grab some clean cloths. Well, they're cleanish. They're kind of dirty, and it's like kind of
A
shove
moist towelette.
shove it in Tammy's face.
You pull out a napkin.
And
The
shove it
four
in
of you
Tammy's
have been
face.
fully submerged. You are, well, I guess not all of you actually. Trey and Marius, and you're a little better off.
I was.
I would say
already
whoever was second, the
drenched.
daisy chain is also completely soaked. Whoever's in the back,
Yeah, I figured I was
Marius,
kind of pulling people
you're,
out. of
you
it.
kind of got it across your front, but the three of you have been fully submerged and are coated head to toe in what is clearly heavy, coppery smell of blood.
I'm gonna peek out with my covered boots and go back and get a bunch of like rags and clothes. Just come back. Things that hopefully fit you all.
Wiping Cammy's face like a child.
Yeah, I'm just wiping like fruit because I'm covered in it, trying to like I'm just smearing it around on me, and I plop my
He's still in his
clothespin
face.
on. I'm like,
You're-
I smell
you're
disgusting.
used to
Whatever towel you pull out is soaked through in an
Just
instant.
gonna
but
windshield
you're
wiper my
doing
eyebrows.
your doing, your eyes, your eyebrows.
So it's not dripping into my eyes constantly.
But it's in your eyes, it's in your nose, it's in your mouth.
Just hawk.
It's-
Just get it out.
I need
No.
A natural 20.
stress check from the three of you that were fully submerged.
I rolled a 17, re-rolling it.
He wants it.
To a 19.
I said 8.
So close to a
7
1.
club.
She's part of the 7 club.
Cammy's part of the
7 Club. It's so
Welcome.
fun.
The 7 Club.
Welcome. Hi, welcome.
Oh, thank you.
I'm
you.
I'm no longer the newest member.
It's
Yes,
now everybody
I
but
initiate.
Trey, who is literally hero pointing to try to fail.
And it's not working.
And Marius, who hasn't had time to let the absolute horrors of this place sink in.
Yeah, it's
You
more
know what,
like
Marius? You don't have like 4 days of desensitization to the absolute hell world that is Briarstone. That's probably a stress check for you too. I'll make the DC a little lower.
Ooh, that's a 2.
Well, yeah, but you're getting
Whoa.
your first
Oh.
taste of how bad things can really be here. The
Yeah, I was
worst
about to
you've
say,
seen
I'm
is,
just kind of, like, in
some
shock,
cultist
like-
that you've been hiding.
Yeah, it's like,
this
what is this?
is not anything like anything you've seen here so far.
Nope.
Well, I hate to be the one to point it out, but I think that way's pretty much closed.
Fine by me.
Could I take a look and see if this thing is alive in any way? Like, this
Poke
thing
with a stick.
rushed out, but
Looking-
it's also standing
Yeah,
still.
easy. You've got a great place. You looked out into the hall and you look down and you see this. And from what you saw, it was like a trap door had opened. It wasn't, it was simply, there was so much blood that it was a solid wave. It's now like 20 feet deep against the end of the hallway.
But it's not like.
But it literally, it looked like if you took the bottom out of a, have you ever seen like a water tower fail and it just drops? That was what it looked like. It looked like it just fell.
Oh, like it
That
was. It
way.
was. It felt. Yeah, but gravity
Yeah,
doesn't.
because it wasn't just like washing. Clearly, it's standing up against the wall now.
That's
It looked as if like gravity is affecting in the wrong direction. It didn't look like it was one unit. It doesn't look alive. And if you look the other direction to where it came from, you can see out into a much larger room, and you're looking directly towards like a big set of bay windows, looking out over what would probably be a great view of the asylum grounds were it not occluded by this constantly churning yellow fog. The floor in front of this doorway is stained in about a semicircle with this dark red, like almost perfect semicircle of blood. And heading out from that towards these bay windows is a stream where even still you can see it trickling across the floor from the far east, from a chair facing towards the window.
And it's flowing like a river. Like it's just going.
Flowing like a river. Just that way. The floor seems flat. It's definitely not that tilted that you have a literal wall, defying all physics and logic.
Well, so did
Is-
that bird cage.
Yeah, that's fair.
Is
Nice.
the floor like, since it's adding to it, is it like filling up?
The trickle is extremely slow.
Okay.
It looks like blood probably is flowing into it, but now there is so much floor and soaked mass in this hall that as this stream kind of meets the semicircle around the door where ostensibly this pile was just sitting, and then this mass inside the door, it's such a little flow that it disappears entirely.
Huh.
Well, on the list of things that could have happened, didn't expect that one.
Yeah, it's new.
Could have been worse. Could have been a flow of ghouls.
Kimmy's, yeah, as she's dripping.
Could have been, I don't know, more doppelgangers. Could have been anything.
I'm gonna go look at the chair.
As you head
The
out
source.
into this room, following this trickle out towards the far side, the chair is actually blocking the view of the source of this, which is in front of it, a much smaller wheelchair that's just kind of set in front of these bay windows on the far side of the room. And sitting in that wheelchair is a corpse. A corpse of what looks like an old woman, probably in her late 70s, dressed up in the simple gown of a Briarstone Asylum patient. Her chest, where her heart would be, The gown is physically blown out, like a hole had been blasted in it by a shotgun, and there is nothing but a massive, gory void, leaking blood down her gown, dripping from the wheelchair, dripping at an angle from the wheelchair into this stream trickling down towards the hall.
I'm gonna make an occultism check to figure out what in the hell is going on here.
Well, we have an investigator, so as you are investigating, you would get that automatically. What is your? It would be probably occultism. Yeah, I'll roll it. What is?
Oh yes.
Sequence.
Actually,
Eight.
you can just roll it. Actually,
Plus
this
8.
is not a.
Oh, I
not
can
a
roll it?
This isn't like identifying a monster or something.
Thank you, Link. Thank you, Link, for that. Thank
Happy
you so
birthday.
much. Happy birthday! That's much better. That's a 10 on the die, so 18.
With an 18, you've encountered a couple of very strange things in this asylum so far. This body, I mean, it's not moving, it doesn't react, it's clearly dead. This isn't an undead, this isn't a ghoul. This is something mechanically in Pathfinder that we've encountered a couple, but this is the first opportunity we've got to do something about one, called a haunt. It's sort of just a catch-all term for almost like a supernatural situation of some kind, usually caused by a spirit or a ghost or some connection from something that once was. It can be caused by a huge variety of things, and it can be difficult to tell what its origin is or how to end it, because generally, if it's caused by an uneasy spirit, the spirit is calmed, laid to rest, the manifestation will stop. What you would notice through 18 in occultism about this particular haunt is that there are no signs of life left in this woman at all. Like this, again, no trace of undead. It's not moving. You can touch her. She's not going to attack you. But her face, her expression that's kind of frozen now eternally, is one of... It's fear, but it's not like ghouls are breaking down the door and everything's going crazy fear. It's like worried fear. Like, just unsettled. Like, something you just couldn't stop stressing yourself about. She's sitting with her hands folded in her lap like she's knitting. There is nothing physically visible about her body other than the obviously exploded hole over her heart.
Kind of instinctively kind of reach in, pick up her hands, and start to like gently pat them, and say, it's gonna be okay. And I look around while I'm doing this, kind of, if she was knitting something, like if there's needles, yarn, just patting, just kind of, it's gonna be okay.
As all you sort of look around the room here, as Cammy and Trey are sort of looking at this body in the chair, the room looks to be a common area, most likely for the patients. There are a variety of worn old chairs and small tables set with little checkerboards, books, errant pieces of jigsaw puzzles, and sample games around the area. The north wall, as you come into the main bulk of this very large space that looks like it could comfortably seat a few dozen people, each dealing with their own various things at their own seating. There is a serving hatch near the bay windows on the left side of the room that opens into a dark space beyond. And this, almost the whole eastern length of the space, is just these massive bay windows. So from here, it's unsettling how much of this mist you can see just right on the other side of the glass. And just like when you poke your heads out front, you look long enough, you can see little shapes moving here and there. Maybe eddies of the mist. Maybe things crawling about.
Are there like shades or blinds?
There would be a couple. It looks like you would see several places where quite a few have been ripped down, probably recently. Big bolts of cloth, pretty useful in the late stage survival apocalypse situation. A lot of it would have been scrounged. Many of the cushions are missing from a lot of the furniture as well. Any that were not a part of the chair itself had certainly been taken, leaving these bare seats.
The windows are all intact.
Yes.
Is there anything, like if you looked out like directly in front of where the woman was kind of like looking toward? Like just kind of straight
Her
out
wheelchair is sat facing the windows, but she's not even, her head's not actually looking out them. She's looking down at her hands, is how her head would be. But looking out where she's facing, you don't see anything of note.
Cammy, you have any idea what's going on?
I don't know. She just seems kind of worried. She was knitting something or working on something. She didn't have anything on her hands, right? Just
No.
So you said what was a service hatch? Like where they
Yes.
pass stuff out?
Yes, like exactly where you could hand things through. It's large enough that like you could clamber through it, but it's at probably about lower chest level, about head level for Cammy. Big enough to probably a couple of feet wide, a couple feet high. It's got a set of shutters that could be closed.
I'm gonna step through it.
Okay.
I'll try to squeeze through it.
As you move up towards this hatch, you would hear voices. It's dark past there, but you can obviously see through that with no particular problem. The only source of light in this whole room is ambient, muted, pale yellow light streaming through the windows and Easy's lantern. But you look back through the shutter and see that there's a tiny little office that immediately connects into another room. Right behind this, or right kind of off to the side of this service hatch, there is a small desk and an empty door frame with no door and what looks like a large storage area behind that. You hear muttered voices coming from the direction, sounding like they're arguing in the darkness out of view in that storage room.
I'm just gonna glance back, see if anyone's watching me. Anyone I can make eye contact with. If no one's paying attention, I'm just gonna sneak through.
And I'll at least glance over and see him, but
I'll just, if he makes eye contact, I go, shh. And just,
okay.
So are you going to, are you sneaking or are you going to stay searching?
I'm gonna sneak.
Okay. Marius, are you coming?
I might just kind of walk over. I'm not going to stop him or say anything, but I might just kind of go and try to listen, kind of get an idea of what he's doing as well.
As you come around to the you climb through. You're pretty large. It's probably the degree of difficult to clamber through. You got a big metal furnace plate on your chest. You're trying to quietly get through this serving hatch into the room.
He's gonna do it too.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna need you to roll me a stealth check, and we'll roll it as you go through because, like, that's the point where you're gonna get noticed and you're not realistically.
Wow.
No!
I wasted the 220s earlier.
I was like, I thought you rolled a 20. I was like, there's no way you rolled another natural 20.
I mean, I rolled 6 in one session.
You go to climb through, and this furnace plate
Exactly what I was
armor you
waiting
have
for.
on your chest, it's difficult to get in. And as you try to pull your shoulders through a hatch that's barely bigger than them, you all hear like a loud metallic, it's like a wind chime. He's got a big furnace grate just like rattling on the edge of the service hatch, and that kind of, it startles you a little bit. You hit the wooden shutter and that rattles.
A metal ball
And,
bowl falls down. You hear it wobbling.
Oh my god.
It's loud. The silence, the near silence of this room is shattered in an instant. And everyone kind of freezes.
Did you hear something?
And then you hear
Must have been the wind.
what sound like frightened, "Let's go! Let's go!" battle cries as several yellow-robed apostles come charging around from the darkness through the doorway, bumbling in the black towards you, wedged in the service hatch.
they even have a light?
They were just crowd hiding in the darkness, waiting.
This is not going to go well for them.
It is here. We will take our midstream break before we roll this initiative. We're going to stand up, stretch our legs, use the bathroom. A lot of interesting things over here on the east end of the asylum. Definitely my favorite haunt in book 1 with the giant wall of blood.
No one took damage.
Everyone at DC 20 and all 4 of you made it.
I
That
have a
That's insane.
3.
wild. Don't go
mean,
too far,
Roman
everybody.
Ranger. Reflex saves for days.
We'll be right back. Welcome back, everybody. Want you to know we've been discussing the fact that we've just discovered the end to any blood shortages worldwide. We can fulfill the needs of any blood drive in Galarian.
Infinite
Yeah, what
iron
blood type
daggers.
is she again? Kim?
Negative, spooky, negative.
So stupid.
I'm gonna need everybody to roll me some initiative, except Colby, who's using his natural 1 on stealth as his initiative.
Woo!
Everybody else,
But you get a +1 because I'm scouting.
roll me. You get a plus
That
1.
gives me a total of a 9.
Hey, MD, that was loud.
10, sorry.
10. Let's start on this side. Marius.
Exactly the same for 10 for an 18. Same
Solid.
before.
Trey.
14.
Cammy.
Thinking about using.
I'm thinking about it.
Oh, you're fine.
It's just for initiative. I got
What
an
could possibly happen?
8. It's a 2 on the die.
I love that I gave him an obligatory natural 1 and he beat you. Easy.
11 plus 7, 18.
Who wants to go first? Marius or Easy? Because you're both 18s.
Rock, paper, scissors.
It's just player's choice in Tui, whoever wants to be first.
I'll go first. Well, I'll go first because I can at least
After
shoot through the
you, you're
window.
new.
Fair enough.
After you.
Everyone adding the +1 for scouting.
And our friends
And I'm
Oh,
closest.
are
dang.
going to go right in here.
Not much.
So yeah, Marius and
Left.
Easy with those 18s. You would be the first to react here. Marius, you were obviously literally right there. You hear the footsteps of what sounds like 3-4 apostles coming around the corner, each clutching chair legs, just big rocks, bits of timbers, iron pipes, whatever they could have found as weapons. Clearly intent on causing great harm to your new friend MD here.
Oh, pinata.
You're kind of a pinata right now.
Right. As I hear them coming through, and just at the shock of like, okay, that was a lot of noise. I'm gonna like panic, like quickly take out my bow. Can I see any of them?
Yeah, you could definitely
Okay,
see
I can
one of
see
them.
them
The one
coming.
that's come through
Yeah.
clear in the doorway, you can see.
So, the same old hunt prey on that dude, and I'm gonna do a flurry shot to just try to be like, nope.
You try to get
Try
two
to
shots
give them
right
time to either
past-
figure out if you're coming back out or what.
2 shots right past MD. He's
Yeah.
just stuck here.
Push me and close the shutter.
It's like I got a little bit of room. 14 plus 7, so 23.
That'll hit.
And I'll just roll the other one too.
Yeah, just roll the attacks together.
9 plus 4. I don't think that's.
Probably not a second one. So 1 arrow landing.
Yeah. All right. 1 plus 1, so 2 damage.
Sick.
Stay back.
You don't have a great shot here. There is a very large orc in much of the service hatch, but you manage to still get an arrow past him and catch one of the approaching cultists. Easy. You hear all this ruckus and then the shouting from the other side of the hatch. You can't really see what's happening over there, but it doesn't sound good.
Well, I will make my way a little closer, as far as I can get to. I don't know.
You could get right up behind Marius with a single move.
Okay, I'll get
25
there.
feet's a pretty good distance.
Seriously, I'll get there and I'll be like, we got through a lot of blood. It was quite a flood. MD looks pretty stuck trying to tuck.
I had a little fear on where that was going, but we're okay. We'll go there.
But no worries, these cultists are a dud. And that's courage.
Is he rhyming? Is he rhyming at us? Hit 1 action left.
I moved, I think. Wait, no,
Moving
yeah,
and
one more.
Inspiring's only one, yeah.
Can I talk? No, wait. That's as far as I can get, so I can't pull.
You can move again. You can like move up to the thing, but you would have to spend your last action doing that, yeah.
Oh, I couldn't have done the full move to get to. Oh,
The
no,
full
no.
move is there.
True. Yeah, I'll move a little closer just so I can maybe pull
Oh, you wanna
pull
be
you out.
up in kind of the corner behind him, a little out
Yeah.
of view with a cultist here. And as they come rushing forward, the one close to the front here takes a bit of air and stumbles and sees, silhouetted by the light of Easy's lantern and the light of the windows, a blood-covered giant orc man covered in metal and pipes. Where behind him there is some kind of cackling, rhyming, regular guy with some nice new shoes.
They're covered. They don't see them.
And the front of you is also covered in blood as these arrows just fly through. And he raises the pipe that he's got, solidifying his grip on this. More demons! More demons! And runs up and just kind of like tottering forward on one foot for like a big baseball swing towards
Don't wanna
MD as
do
you're
this.
stuck. I'm going to say you're flat-footed. You're stuck in
I'm
a
super
surface
flat-footed.
edge.
Oh my gosh.
That was level 3. I hate you.
What, quick squeeze or?
No, deny advantage.
Oh, soon, my
Soon,
friend.
this would never happen again.
It's gonna be a 15 to hit you.
Wrong.
I'm blessed.
Wrong.
Dang it! You
As
just
he
swing.
tries to hit me, I'm able to like just shuffle my way a little bit, and it just hits me on the shoulder. Like,
Yeah, you still got a bunch of armor in there, and he whacks and pulls back, and he just swings again, like frantically. Definitely not in the second one. It's 2 on the die. Just kind of frantically whacking away at you, completely harmlessly, as another cultist rushes in the room and like clambers up on the desk with what looks like a couch leg in her hand. Die! Die, blood beast! And just like whack. Clearly like no skill behind it. Like she's hitting you with her purse. And she's...
That's my person. I don't know you.
It's a natural one. They are not...
You steal
They
her
are returning
purse.
to monkey.
They are not a coordinated fighting force, I'll tell you that. And you hear that first voice from back behind. I'm getting the lamp! And some fiddling and some things get knocked over. And then you see a light spring to life in the back room. There it is. A third guy comes around with a rock in one hand, holding up a lamp in the other, just kind of looking at this. Trey, you...
Didn't realize they could be this incompetent. I'm just gonna take 3 actions and go to the door. I assume this bends around to where they are, and I'm not getting through that train wreck.
It does look like it probably does link around. You walk across the room, making your way over towards these double doors as we go to MD.
Oh, the double doors is only 2 actions. I thought I had to go to the other door. I didn't realize the double doors was there.
Oh, I see what you mean.
So I
see
can
what you mean.
open
Yeah,
this.
there's a double door right there. That other door is like at the front of the semicircle. Yeah, that looks a little weird with those doors. You move up with 2 actions,
Yeah,
and you
and then I
can
could just open
throw that door open. And as you do, you see inside complete, utter darkness. Yes, I know you have dark vision.
Yes.
It doesn't matter. Inside that door is a black void. The light coming in from the day room that is not exactly bright only penetrates like an inch across the ground before it's just lost. It's like you opened a door to the actual abyss. And you're just staring at it as MD is getting whacked with a pipe and a chair leg stuck in its shuttered surface edge. You're up, sir.
I'm gonna get through it.
That's the right.
I'm going through. I'm going in.
That's the right
First
attitude.
action is wiggling in, and you
Shimmy.
end up shimmy through onto the desk.
Try to stealth through.
In between these
Try
two
to
cultists.
stealth through. Did you a stealth
They'll
shimmy?
never see it coming.
You're inside.
I want to use my second action to step up between all 3 of them. This is the optimal position.
Up off the desk
Um,
into the...
Oh no.
Steal the lantern.
How is that up? For who? This is disarm the lantern, but I want to hit the lantern. I don't want to hit it.
Okay, maybe an attack roll.
Yeah. I don't have a weapon in my hand, so it's just me punching at this point.
That's an athletics check. Give me an athletics
Just
check.
slap it out of his hand.
A 16 on the die for a 24 total.
24.
I'm blessed.
Yeah, 24, 25 will critically succeed against his reflex DC. You slap the lantern out of his hand. And as you do, it hits, bounces on the floor, and the light flickers out. And leaving just the light of the room, and the guy just kind of like stares at you in shock with the rock still in his hand. His hand is still there like it's gripping something, but the lantern just got slapped out of it.
Stop?
Like, he doesn't know what to do.
You want to stop now?
Cammy.
Okay. I'm going to run over to that side of the room. I don't want to go in there though, so I'm just gonna
the surface edge is pretty clear now, so now you can like see through it, and you can see this battle.
Cool, because
through the hedge.
I am not going inside.
They've all got like cover. If you make an attack roll against them, it just gives them a bonus to their AC.
Okay.
But for anything else, you can see everyone.
Okay. You're surrounded by all of them, dude.
He's in the middle of all three of them. One of them is kneeling up on the desk,
Close the
hitting him
hatch.
with a chair leg. One of them's whacking him with a pipe.
Just close the window. And
Okay. I'm going to take. Is there one that looks incredibly beefy?
None of them look incredibly beefy, no.
They just look like crazy cultists.
They do all just kind of look like people, and the way they're
What do you do with that? Okay.
the way they're acting, they're swinging. They are just like swinging wildly. It's not even so much like they do look afraid, but they're just like going crazy, just swinging for the fences with absolute reckless abandon, like barely even aiming. One of them immediately just clambered up on the desk and is still there, just whacking at him. Like they are unhinged.
They're gonna hit me once for 24 damage. I know it's coming.
It's literally not possible. Like a maxed crit would not get there.
kind of bless the cultist.
Cammy just kind of stares blankly through the hole and then raises a thumbs up and says, "Yeah, you got this, and that's going to be stoke the heart on you." And then I'm going to use my last action to just wordlessly pull out my bow and just get ready. Just staring at the hole.
Marius.
All right. I'm just gonna. I guess I'm still there. I'm gonna be. You're doing your thing. So I'm going to continue to
The one
shoot
nearest to you on the other side of the hatch is your
yeah,
prey.
continue to try to get them to either calm down or be dead. So
Calm down, poop. Stop fighting, poop.
that's a nat 1 on the first shot.
That was good,
I
miss.
don't think that's gonna do anything. That's a 3. That's not gonna do anything.
It's real hard to shoot through this hatch at a guy who's kind of like against the side. It's really not a great angle for you,
Yeah.
but you're trying.
But I'm gonna continue trying.
We could do Rangers things.
That's a 15 plus 4.
Oh wait, you have -3 on each because Flurry Ranger. So -6 is as high as your thing ever goes.
For
For your attack rolls. You take you
Yeah.
don't take -5 every attack, you take -3 because that's like your thing. I
Yes.
forgot about your thing.
Yes.
Your thing.
Yeah.
Your thing. The
So-
whole point of your existence.
Yeah, so that's plus that's a 19.
19 will hit.
Okay. That's a 6 plus 1, so 7.
Ooh, good hit.
And I still have one more.
Got one more.
All right, yeah.
And,
Let's do it.
Multiple attack penalty maxes out at 2 of them, so it doesn't get any higher.
That's a 16 on the die.
Yeah,
plus
that'll
4,
hit too,
20
then.
as well. For 5.
And as you put 2 more arrows with a flurry of shots through this hatch here, you.
Oh wait, does the Inspire Courage get plus 1 for damage?
Yeah, I have.
Okay.
I'm getting them here. The flurry of shots puts down the first occultist behind MD here. The man just a pincushion of arrows. And easy.
Please calm down.
Okay.
He looks calm now.
Shit, MD yelling out, "Close the hatch."
You're yelling out, close the hatch. Okay, I'm gonna be like, all right, look at MD, stuck in a group of 3. No need to worry. He'll handle it in a flurry. Just wait and see. And then that's 1, Inspire Courage. And then I'm going to just toss a fire flask.
You still have one?
I have 1 more.
I thought we got rid of them all.
No.
This is why I don't trust them with them.
Oh my
2. I don't have anything, so I don't know what a 2.
Everyone in the room takes 1 fire damage!
And then I'm gonna close the hatch.
It's an action to take out the fire flask unless you like have it in your hand already, pulling it out and then throwing it. So you can reach up to close it next round as it's not just a fire. There's splash and there's just some thick flaming liquid just kind of smeared across the wall behind the desk cards.
Just imagine the ambient lighting for a second. Of this man who's probably standing a foot above both of them.
Now lit up with red, like it's bright red fire that comes out of these fire starters. It is not like normal fire. It's a chemical ignition.
I'm a demon.
And you look like a damn demon, and the woman is just screaming, "Die! Die! Die!" as she's just slinging at you, seemingly losing no strength as she just keeps going. She doesn't seem to be getting tired at all.
Definitely made eye contact.
Nope.
Like, are you sure that's a good idea?
Haha! 20. Natural, not unnatural 20.
Yes.
Okay, the second one hits you. One hit. Just sitting here wailing away at you, has managed to stick one.
On
For
the
like
head.
3 damage.
6 damage. Thank you very much.
The dice. Good job.
6 bludgeoning damage as you get bonked. And then she doesn't. They don't seem to have like the tactics. Like clearly she could flank you right here. Whether they just like don't, that doesn't occur to them, or they're just not smart enough to act on it, or she is just losing herself here. She makes no effort to. She's in a bad position up on this desk. She can't like defend herself very well. The guy with the rock, as you knock the lantern down, just kind of looks up at you. His eyes just wide. And he's gonna step back further into the room and just throw the rock. Literally from like 5 feet away. Just takes a step back and for a 17. I threw a rock at you.
You threw a
He just kind of picks up another rock.
That's fair.
And he's standing there like slack-jawed. Like it's like he looks like he doesn't even know where he is. It's not fear even in his face. It's like he's not even really registering what's happening. Because like you said, this is a terrifying situation. He's just, nah. He gets ready to throw another one. Trey.
1 action to move over to the hatch. 1 action to go through the hatch. 1 action to close the hatch.
You speed 30.
It's 25. Unless I miscounted.
You can 5, 10, 15. You can't really like cut the corner. You can get in there. It's not an extra action to go through the hatch. So you can you can get in there, climb in, another blood-covered, football-headed demon, and it closes the hatch behind him, and the room just becomes completely blank. You see all the color drain away, MD, and immediately realize the guy with the rock kind of like looks over towards the hatch and then looks back towards you, but it's like kind of past you. He clearly
just close it, Billy.
cannot
Give us
see
1 second.
anything. There is still a little bit of light of this flickering fire, but they can't see very well at all.
Well, the one up, I'm still unarmed, so it's just going to be punches. Back to my roots. I'm going to attempt just to grab her and bring her down to a knee. I know
Okay.
she's high, but
She's on a desk.
a 14 plus
Okay,
an
yeah,
8,
you're
so
good.
22.
Like the 14 almost succeeded. So
22.
yeah, you grab a hold of her.
Yeah, and she's flat-footed, right?
Yeah, she's grabbed. So yeah.
12, 14 damage.
Oh, you attacking? Oh, I thought it was
Yeah,
athletics.
no, it's grabbing, bringing her down to my knee.
Okay, yeah. Oh, I see. Yeah, definitely hits. So she's flat-footed up on the desk. She can't really move. How much damage?
14.
14. Okay. She's that's a big hit, and that stops her for a second. She kind of like staggers, and her head like physically rolls.
Oh, cool, you're still standing. These are all non-lethal.
Fair enough.
He's just throwing hands.
And then just as I have her down, there's one more gut shot. One more gut shot. Minus 8 plus 8, so 7.
It hits, right?
Oh, seven's not gonna do it. Cammy, you see Trey go through and just shut the hatch behind him, leaving the 3 of you out here, and you hear slamming and impacts and
You hear
probably
cartoon noises.
laughing. It is like a cartoon scene.
Is there anything to worry about?
I think you just kind of see like Cammy's eyes like glazed over, just complete. And with one blink, I just sustain stoke the heart, and I'll hold the rest of my turn if the door opens again.
This is 3 in a row, Marius.
Wait, so did you open the window? Or no? Okay,
No,
the window's
the
closed.
shutter's closed right
So
now.
then I guess I'm just gonna kind of stand there and be like, okay, I guess they're doing this themselves. And I might just like hold. Can I hold like an action?
Yeah,
or
you
something?
can. You can hold. I'll put you up here. Easy.
Okay. Where we came from, there was another door.
There were a couple, yeah.
I didn't say anything. I just went over, opened a door, came back over.
Because there was a double door on your left, and like just past the door, the blood came through. There was another like 15 feet of hallway, and there was a door in that too. That's honestly totally understandable. You would miss, as it was just the same color as the whole rest of the hall, not an obvious shape. But and you guys were kind of going out to see like what is going on with this blood. But there was another door there, as well as the room goes off to what will be your right to the south, down like a very large main hallway.
Yeah, I'm just gonna see if there's another way in, because I'm like, I'm not gonna open the hatch because they told me to close it.
You move around.
But they didn't tell me to not check for other doors.
You move around to the side and see the double door that Trey had opened and the abyssal maw that is the inside of that, the absolute blackness. You're carrying a lantern. You have the light source. Your light stops at that door threshold. It does not penetrate at all.
I like how it casts darkness out into
It's
the room.
Yeah.
It's actually, it is literally slightly darker. Like, if anything, the darkness is coming out of the door a little bit, darkening the area around it as it's open. But you can continue onward to the door in the blood-soaked hallway.
Yeah, I'll go to that one.
Open that one up as well and just take a little peek. And you open what looks to be a janitor's closet.
Oh.
There's a bunch of these throughout the asylum. It's a pretty big facility, much like the ones in the maintenance hall. Just racks of cleaning supplies, bins of stained laundry. You open it, and you get again that kind of smell of bleach, but also like an acrid chemical stink. It's almost identical to the maintenance closet you'd found janitor closet you found back in the maintenance hall.
Okay.
Does
This
not
floor needs a good mop. It's pretty bloody.
And it starts right now.
Yeah,
Be the change you want to see.
I know how I can
Not all
contribute.
heroes wear capes.
Get
Yeah.
some bleach in them up.
The two in here. The lady takes this knee, can't really see, stunned for a second, but like while you physically hit her and like her body physically responds, this doesn't faze her at all. She just keeps flailing at you. Just not even talking anymore so much as just panting heavily from the exertion, just beating the stick away in your general direction. Fails concealment, passes concealment, and a 19.
That hits.
She got-
Exactly.
She got him, boys. We're in there. 6 more points of bludgeoning damage. Extremely consistent cultist.
It's just right at the same spot every time.
She's just
Yeah.
bonk. And fails concealment on the third
Oh,
one.
you hit the bruise again.
The other guy you can see who's backed up and he has a little rock. There's still the fire here. It's not completely dark. That alchemist's fire has enough of a little bit of glow. They can just barely see silhouettes. You can see fine. You see like a little bit of color that fades almost immediately beyond the range of where the fire starter landed. He looks. He just kind of throws the rock towards Trey, sort of half-heartedly. He passes concealment. Not half-heartedly at all, a 24. He beams that rock.
He knows where the door was. He can just throw it hard in that
Yeah,
direction.
absolutely. Full vigor on that rock. I am mistaken. I assumed one of those was not going to be a 19 or an 18. You're going to take 7 points of bludgeoning damage.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, they're fine.
That's max.
They're just
I'm sorry. This is what
fine.
I get for trying to flavor the attack before I roll the dice.
It's
Literal
like a
max
David and
damage.
Goliath. Literally, like...
He does kind of like half-hearted. It just hits you like right in the eye. You didn't expect him to
It's a
really.
big eye.
You didn't think he'd do it. Like,
Hit you in the eyebrow, actually.
Oh, I got the eyebrow.
His one weak point.
but he hits, and then he looks down at the floor. He's looking for another rock. He's like, I can't. He literally gets down and starts like feeling around
Oh my
for a
gosh.
rock.
I can't find my glasses.
Like, what else? Like, you're doing.
And he pulls something up. He grabs. He puts his hand around something. It looks back up, and he throws it towards Trey again. And you feel what feels like it might be like a wad of gauze just kind of bounce off your forehead. And that's him, Trey.
Poor man.
Sword. Woman. Apply.
She
Flat
has,
of sword.
She has 3 health.
Flat of sword.
Oh, non-lethal. Okay, minus 2 to hit.
That's fine. I rolled a 20.
Wow.
I'm
become
sorry
lethal?
for what's about to happen
Yeah.
because this
Can you
is
die
very
to,
lethal.
Can you massive damage die on lethal?
We're
Are we
about-
gonna murder
we're about to
Sparkus?
find out.
Is it happening again?
He tried the one time he tried to not kill them.
It's just
no.
nuts. Caves are skulling. Roll the damage.
comes
If it's higher than her
Um,
max health,
It's 10, 14, 15, 30 total.
okay, it wouldn't quite. It's not quite massive damage. I was looking 34. That's what I was looking
Oh my
for.
god.
Yeah, she is not here right now. Can you leave a message? That's
Bonk.
cymbal sound. She just crumbles. She's unconscious. You do hit her non-lethally. She just kind of sprawls out, and even still, as she falls, it's like watching a puppy dreaming. Her arm is still like moving with the furniture. Like it's still like lightly bouncing off of MD. Tunk, 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 tunk. Okay.
It's kind of adorable.
She thinks
Then
she's
I'm just going to
attacking.
walk over to the other one and proceed to apply flat of sword to face.
He's like, he can't roll another 20. He's not gonna roll another 20.
I mean, it's possible. It says 17, which could very well still be a crit because that's going to be a
He's flat-footed.
24.
Are you blessed?
I am.
That crits.
Just spider things.
He's flat-footed. With flat-footed and you're blessed, that's gonna critically hit.
Alrighty. This poor...
AC
those are
17. You
sixes.
sweet
I
summer
need
child.
8s. This is a long sword.
This is Spider-Man right now.
Oh no.
Ooh.
That's an 8 and a 7. So that's massive damage rolls. Because the 5 and the 5 was almost
40?
massive. So 15, 19, 20, 40. I just massive damage.
Yeah, that
with
guy's
non-lethal.
dead. It happened again. Ma, it happened again. We not lethal kill somebody.
Oh no, this poor
You
man.
walk up, and you just... Usually when you hit somebody, they make any attempt to avoid it. It's not completely pitch black in here. And even if they don't avoid it, their body like reacts. But as a flat of your sword connects the side of his head, it's like a rag doll. How do you end this?
I go to take the sword to the side of his head to knock him out, and there's no like reflexive movement. There's no. I'm gonna sneeze. Hold on.
I'm out.
All
There's
right.
a lot of blood
Sneeze
in the air.
in 10?
It's gone. It's gone.
You sneeze and
No.
accidentally hit him with the side of your.
And as I swing at him, same over the shoulder swing, bringing it in across his head, and possibly like perfect extension, or maybe he just happens to have a particularly weak skull. It caves in rather than him getting slapped and going unconscious.
You feel the flat of your blade crunch in. Even you outside can hear this crack as it connects. And then he falls straight sideways like a tree. And you hear his head smack on the stone as he lands. Stone dead in an instant.
Well, didn't mean to do that, but all right. How's the other one?
Perfect.
It's a metronome.
It's still alive. I'm gonna lean out. What can I get for you?
Thank you.
Yeah, so
I'm gonna
Osmosis. Your sneeze now.
Moses.
I'm gonna open the service hatch, lean forward, look at Marius, and say, "What can I get for you?" Yeah, it's a joke.
Can I get a number 2? And
You can
large
see he's
fry?
got 2 pretty big bruises on like the
One
side of his
really-
neck and his
one
neck.
really
Just
big
one
bruise.
really big bruise on his temple.
You just hear this behind him. Problem in here saying,
Sounds like you guys got it under control.
there's one still alive, but she's taking a good little nap.
Can you guys see if there's another door or another way in from inside?
Isn't there another door directly
There's
beside
another
you?
door. I'm gonna open that.
There is a door, yeah. You open the door next to you into a small adjoining office. So this is kind of like an area in 3 pieces. You have this little service desk with the hatch. Behind it, you have what looks like it's clearly a fairly sizable storage area, and adjoined to that is an office with a pair of desks and a couch in the back with a long table in front of it. There's not much in here for storage, but there is another door that leads yet further through. It only connects pretty much straight across. Moving and advancing and opening that door, the room would darken a little. As you would see again, this void.
Oh yeah, I found the darkness.
Yeah, we found the brother. Well,
Did you get the shadow lantern?
not yet. I was going to wait until we found the darkness before I took it. I didn't want to just walk around with the thing that keeps the boy pretty much here. There's no telling how he'll react when I take it from him.
The group of you gather back around this service hatch, sharing what various things you'd seen.
I come back with a mop and a bucket.
Close
and
the
I'm just
door.
like, clean up on aisle 2.
I close the door to the shadow void for now. It is
It's not going
perhaps more unsettling to look at than the fog outside the window.
So this back room that they were in was a storage area for like
Yes.
the activity, like for the hobbies and stuff, or what was back there?
Back there, you see an area that looks like it has been very heavily ransacked. A lot of the floor is actually covered in broken glass and shimmering opalescent stains, almost kind of like an oil spill look. So it has a kind of iridescent shimmer of colors, like a prismatic spills upon the floor. The walls of the room are set with several, bolted onto the walls, not on the floor, large, tall medicine cabinets that are all wide open. Their contents either gone or just strewn across the floor. There are dirty, errant bits of gauze, small glass silver-capped bottles, syringes, all kinds of things just strewn throughout the room. And Cammy, are you coming through to look at this?
Oh,
Are you
yeah.
coming back? Are you all coming into this area now? You're still investigating.
Yes, I am.
Give me a medicine check.
I would love to. All right, that's a 14 on the die, so dirty 20.
The dirty 20, it would become immediately apparent to you. You didn't see a ton of the cultists that had attacked MD and Trey, but they were certainly acting a little weirdly and erratically, even looking at the unconscious woman and a beating she had to take to stand down. They were high out of their minds.
Oh,
Almost everything that had once been in here, in this medicine storage, has been taken, and a lot of what was left, they were just taking at random.
oh my gosh.
Gonna take a little bit of tramadol, some epinephrine.
You know, maybe it wasn't you that killed that guy.
Yeah,
It was
something, his organs failed. Dude, yeah.
the organ around the outside of his brain failed. I
Yeah.
think.
There was definitely a failure of a certain organ. I can give
But,
you that one.
Apply
They-
directly to the forehead.
Clearly, now seeing what's back
Oh
here
my
and
God.
seeing how they had been
Directly
acting,
for
it's so apparent to you what it was. Like, they had no idea where they
You
were,
got
or what was
ghosts in your
going
blood.
on.
Do cocaine about it.
No, the old lady's the one with the ghost in her blood.
That's why they weren't ghouls. They were so wired up they couldn't sleep.
Oh, it's uppers. It was all just uppers.
It's just
There's a lot of
uppers.
stuff. The room is not
Is it empty?
totally empty. I mean, they have scavenged
There's no more meth.
pretty much everything that looked like it could have been valuable. Anything that would be in a medicine cabinet, like general healing potions or sleeping aids or things that people would have wanted to take, has long since been pilfered. We're clearly in cult-controlled territory now. We've seen a bunch of them, and they've been ransacking this place pretty effectively.
I don't think it's controlled anymore.
But there's a little less now. There's a lot of other things that are medications that there's like no benefit to just having if you don't need. Some medications that could be quite useful to some people back at the chapel. In addition, searchers Give me perception checks. Are you still sneaking? You
I've changed it back as soon as there's no reason to sneak.
Can all three you give me perception checks?
I'm really good at sneaking.
Yeah, we're gonna go with cause of death, plausible deniability on the third guy.
I had plausible deniability on the first guy.
Easy.
I got my janitor vision, 20, natural.
Natural 20.
So +7, 27.
All right, well,
Yeah,
forget you
got
guys.
it.
I got a 15.
Oh, okay. I don't care.
15.
I don't
Yeah,
care
we
what you
both
guys
got
got.
15.
Easy. For what it's worth, you would have found something, but it doesn't matter because Easy has janitor vision.
Janitor sees all.
You come in,
Everything.
and the level of disarray of this room means that things could very easily be hidden
It's gonna be a
behind
lot to
like
clean up.
wads of gauze or
He's a method actor, man.
Yeah,
He's a method actor
Life
celebrity.
now.
My job's so hard these days.
They
find-
already
How
took
do we
all
know
the
that he's
method.
not just famous for being the best janitor?
you find a pretty good supply of still usable basic first aid tools that would functionally assemble a healer's kit if you needed another one. In addition, you find a trio of still functional potions. Healing potions, all three of which you've seen before. 2 of the labeled minor healing potions, and 1 of the lesser healing syringes.
I'll keep the lesser and I'll be like, I got 2 of these.
I'll take one.
We should get the other one to the big
oh,
guy.
yeah.
I have one already.
In addition,
I have one already.
I can
Hey,
take
Oh, yeah, here.
the new guy.
Yeah.
Welcome.
in addition, yeah, you find a bunch of medicines
What was it,
and
lesser?
Lesser healer potion.
while what Tolman told you seems to be true, a lot of what they have are bases, things that need to be mixed together. There are a degree of alchemical tools in here. It's not a complete set. It's not going to be a perfect situation. But just grabbing a bunch of things that are still intact and what supplies you can, it's better than the nothing Tolman currently has to work with.
How do we,
I think our
Yeah.
first problem is
Oh.
getting back.
Yeah.
That is a
Yeah.
problem.
I'm gonna start gathering them just in case I'm filling my
Um,
pockets. While I'm doing so, do I notice any medications left over that would like keep you awake?
Those would be super gone. That would be
Nothing
anything that would
might-
obviously do that would definitely be the first thing that the cultists would have been getting into.
Are there blood thinners?
Blood thinners. You would
I'm trying.
Throw blood thinners into
make
the
me
pile of goop.
make me a medicine check, investigator. I know you had one before for young people. Give me another one.
It's a 9 on the die, so it's a 15.
With a 15, looking around with Easy's idea here, like I said, a lot of these are not fun medicine. They're not going to be useful for anybody to take to get the effect that these cultists
Fun
here were
medicine.
after. They're not going to give you the good times and then maybe kill you. They're just going to kill you or do nothing and make you sad on your inside parts. Things for like simple things like antidepressants, what they have. I mean, obviously the medicine is what it is, but things that would be just kind of a little bit of a minor calming or affect your nervous system a bit. Things like blood pressure medication, things of that nature. That's most of the stuff that would definitely still be left behind.
Ooh.
So we just throw a bunch of that into the wall.
Would anything have been labeled with who would need it, or is it just like the general supply?
Most of the stuff is made as necessary. So a lot of it does not keep very long. But there would be a couple labeled files with various patients. They would have nothing more than a name, though, and none of you would recognize any of the names.
It's not any of our medicines.
No, it's none for any
I
of
would
you
like
guys.
to make a medicine check at a -1
For what exactly?
because it's funny if I succeed
For what, though?
to identify blood thinners.
Oh, well, they already...
Oh.
That was what they were... I
Hey.
mean, you can
I
roll one,
want to
like...
do it because it's funny.
Okay.
Lewis wants to roll.
I
a
like
die.
rolling dice. Rolling dice is fun. That's why we're
Yeah.
here. Did you get a 0?
No.
No, natural 20.
You can't be stopped. He's a menace.
They already identified it, and you're like, "Yep."
Yeah, he's holding
Yep, that's what it is. You can't keep getting away with it.
What I did.
Well,
I got a
You're-
19.
while they're doing all this searching,
As you're looking through this crap, you don't. Yeah, you find some blood thinners, sure. Well, why not? Like, why not? You find some blood thinners.
some
So-
more. You can
I already
put
said
in
there was
a-
blood pressure medication, so like sure, there's
While-
some blood thinners.
While they're doing all that searching, I'm going to be organizing and get everything ready to carry back to camp once we figure out a way back
we
to
can
the
do
blood
that.
wall.
Yeah,
I'm
gotta
gonna
figure
go
out that.
throw my blood thinners into the pile of blood in the hallway in the hopes of thinning it out.
I don't think that's...
Yeah, that sounds like a guy with -1 medicine.
I identified the blood thinners.
They're
not what
in the
they
blood
do.
now. Mission
Thank
accomplished.
you for finding the medicine we wanted, and then throwing it into a lake of blood.
Trying to help us get
He
back.
takes some of these. He's like, I have an idea, and then heads down the hall. If anyone follows him, you would see him just kind of throw them into the blood, and hear plop, and he would splash out, and then kind of ripple on the surface. And well, they're in there now.
Now we wait.
Should
Now we wait.
See, so the bottle's not even open. He just throws them.
Oh,
Nice.
Hey, thanks, man. Yeah.
They're extended release. They're slow release.
For extended release.
Yeah.
About 50 years.
Oh my god.
Oh,
don't
Oh,
ever
it's
say
so
he
funny.
can't keep getting away with
All
it
right.
because he
Well,
will.
clearly he
it's
can. I don't
so
know how I
funny.
haven't learned this after numerous years that he will continue to get away with it no matter what no matter what I want. My will is irrelevant.
The dice say 20.
I don't run the game anymore. Derp's D20 runs the game. Okay.
Malachite is all powerful.
And with that, there doesn't seem to be much else of value back here in this station off to the side of this common area. Anything that would pass through from here to the northern end of the asylum is blocked by this black void, by this
blood clot.
pitch black room. Well, the blood clot's like where you came from, but it does bear noting you're on the eastern side of the asylum with the bay windows, and you came from the western side. The maintenance hall is blocked by collapsed rubble. The field yard has the entire second floor has come down and cut it in half, and here is darkness. You have bunned the whole lateral depth of the asylum. One of these obstacles has to be overcome to get to the cafeteria and to get to the kitchens.
Before we've left, should we have done anything with the last cult member? Like, especially if bad things happen when you're asleep and we kind of put her to sleep.
She is
Is it okay
definitely
to just
still
leave
just
her there?
unconscious. Stop twitching now, just unconscious on the
I'm gonna
desk.
turn another person into a ghoul.
Also, MD, you're blessed. The CDS has got you.
We could toss her into the darkness as a litmus
blessed.
test.
Kind of okay with that.
I'm not okay with that at all.
It's either we do that or she becomes a ghoul.
Yeah.
Dead either way.
Yeah. If you're gonna kill someone, you might as well just do it yourself.
We've heard scary things about the dark. What do you want to do with it?
The dark or the body?
The dark. We use the body to test it.
Well, first I want to get rid of the blood. If there's something to do with the old lady, and we can figure that out, and we can get
Yeah.
back to the chapel. That's the idea.
What if we wheel the old lady into the dark?
Because it's very.
Oh, and then there's a blood trail.
Guys, I
Creative
can't
problem
sit
solving.
here anymore. Have we tried
So
saying anything to the dark?
Clap it on.
If you
dark
think
itself?
oh my gosh.
Is
okay,
there
cool.
anything
It's a
I'm gonna,
clapper.
south?
I'm gonna.
There is a large hallway leading out south from the day room that, by what you would have seen of the maps, and there's even a doorway nearby there, almost certainly leads down to the inpatient wing, the southeastern section. Theoretically,
That can make sense.
that would connect back through, and you could go that way to get back to the chapel, but it's unexplored territory.
Do we have our map? Who holds the map?
You do.
You guys would have your map.
I do.
You
It's
would
safe
know.
to keep it on the unconscious person.
It's safe to
That's
keep it on the
excellent,
person
yes.
that's far away from all the
Map's,
danger.
map's pretty
You're a
simple.
doctor.
The
And
wide
I'm a doctor.
hallway is
And
a
a
main.
calligrapher.
It's a main passage through, just like the maintenance hall was. And
No
by what you have on the map, this hall leading south from the common room should go literally all the way straight through to the southeastern corner of the asylum. The difficulty comes in that you have determined that the section that would connect inpatient through to reception has collapsed. You've seen the alternative, which is the garden walkway between the visiting chamber and the very outlying edge of inpatient, outside that room with the birdcage. It is outside.
Is the
for
rumor
too long.
in the one right under the word stone?
Yes, exactly. You are in the room directly beneath the word stone on the map right
And the
now.
path you're talking about is that little cobblestone thing where it says wing.
Yes, you've seen that. You saw it through the windows from the visiting room.
Okay.
I mean,
And
we
the-
spent
and the
like
fog.
a solid minute outside and ran away.
Not even,
But we
it's-
survived.
Yeah, it'd be fairly short.
Mhm.
You've been out in the gardens, but you've explored out the front door a little.
Hmm.
We have a ranger with us.
But that should connect back through to the room with the birdcage room.
Okay.
It's worth a shot.
Okay.
All right.
Because to get to the cafeteria from here would be going which way?
Through the
Directly
darkness.
through the
Through the
darkness. The
darkness.
cafeteria should be on
Oh.
the other side of the dark room.
And we have heard a lot.
You are right there. Immediately the backside of that dark room is the cafeteria.
Right.
Well,
we
okay.
could just brave the darkness.
I think we
It's
should do
right
something
there.
with it
Right.
because
Here.
that's what we were looking for is food.
I'm
If we-
gonna take. If we want to brave the darkness, I'm gonna take the chain shackles that we have. I'm gonna hand it to Trey, shackled onto my arm. I'm just gonna walk into the darkness.
Before you do that,
He's
I,
in the
I'm
darkness.
on in there.
MD.
I was gonna throw a rock in
Let's
first.
go.
You
MD
stay out here. If you feel me go, then pull me back out, please.
walks in. And as you walk into the darkness, this is an interesting thing
We had
to
a
think
body.
about. Because it's not it's one of those things in the fantasy world of Pathfinder and Magic that like there is no physical analog to. So I'm going to try to explain it the best I can. Normally, if you are in a room that is light and there is a room that is dark, you can't see in that room because it's dark. But if you were to walk into that room and turn around, you could still see the room that was light. Because like light is a thing that there is. Dark isn't, it's just the absence of light. This room is dark. When you, MD, cross that threshold and walk in, and you look back over your shoulder, you don't see anything. You are completely consumed in pitch darkness. And you take a couple of steps before you reach the end of this chain, and both of you would feel it stretched out. The chains you have, these are not terribly long, only a foot or two. Yeah, it doesn't let you get any big distance into the room.
It's enough that if he walked in and fell asleep like with
Right.
the previous weird...
But as you step
phenomenon.
into the chamber, you don't feel anything different. Your sense of sight is gone entirely.
Close my eyes.
Your sense of hearing almost seems to go with it. The room sounds muted. You can still hear the chain rattling on your wrist, but you feel like you can just barely hear your party behind you, as if they were a dozen yards away rather than 3 feet.
I shout out into the darkness and go, "Hello!"
It sounds like she's calling from the other side of a canyon.
So I forget to write their names down every single time you mention them. The brothers,
Brenton
Debus and
Debus?
Brenton.
Yeah.
Brenton and what is it?
Debus.
Demis?
Debus.
D-E-B-A-S.
Debus.
I'm gonna call out Debus's name, and I'm not gonna wait for a response. I'm gonna say, if you're in here, I'm going to come and get you. Just be patient. Your brother misses you. And then
You hear something in response. It is very quiet, muted sobbing, like a child crying. And exactly as you hear that, you feel a tiny little hand grab at the bottom of your shirt. Make me a will save.
oh, I'm good at these. 19.
Your bones only half explode out of your body.
The 19, well, you're level 2. 19's pretty good. You feel a sadness, like empathetically, just kind of wash over you. It doesn't immediately have any mechanical effect, but this little hand tugs for a moment and then disappears. Leaving just that quiet crying. And that too fades after a few moments.
And I'm just gonna.
Yeah. The rest of you hear MD call out from inside the darkness. Come help me. You cannot speak. You hear it too.
Well, you know
You can do anything but speak.
He said,
on
"Come
the
help,
thing,
come help me, or don't
like
help
he
me."
said
Come help
to
me.
do. No, just
Huh?
pull.
Come help me. And Trey just pulls. You feel the chain pulling on you.
Following it.
And you come back out. MD comes back out of the darkness. He looks entirely fine. You cannot speak.
How do we know that's the same?
Huh.
You need help?
What if the real MD is still inside the darkness?
I'm sorry.
I don't know.
You hear again his voice come out from the darkness. This is the thing that's chained to Trey here. Please, guys, help.
The real MD could talk.
I'm just gonna look at them, just like.
Oh.
The real MD could talk.
He's got his looks down to a T. He does that all the time with me.
They just switched bodies or something.
Talking into the darkness, I will say, if you want me to help, what's my name?
I'm stuck.
That's the real one.
Please.
Well, this one
Come
can't tell
on.
us his name either, to be 100%
Yeah,
fair.
what's my
that doesn't
name?
prove anything.
You can describe things you're doing. You just you can't talk.
No,
in
no,
character.
no, absolutely not.
If that's what you're going to describe, if that was what we would see, I wouldn't know what that is.
It's a backwards
I'm gonna stand at the
E
door.
and a backwards
And
E.
I'm gonna be, tell me something only MD would know.
And there's no response.
I pull out the swaddle.
Well, I know you have it. You got all this stuff.
I think he's threatening to put you in it.
That's a weird threat. That's.
I want to shout in, how do I turn on the light?
How I turn the light. Again, this is all MD's voice now. You have to help me.
If I asked this MD to tell you what this MD would say, how to get through the darkness. Is that how the riddle goes?
You can't leave me in here. You can't leave me in
One
here.
always
Help
lies, and one always tells the truth.
Okay, I'm gonna kind of step inside a little bit.
What?
And see if
Wait,
I
wait,
can-
wait, wait, wait,
No,
wait,
no,
wait,
no,
wait,
no, 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 no.
MD grabs
Just
hold of you.
1 foot
We
inside,
got-
sticking my head in, and see if I as if you could be oh, can I see him around the corner?
Half in,
If you
half
poke
out.
your head in, yeah, you would see again. It's just complete blackness envelop you as you stick in. I mean, you can do that on the edge of it. It's not going to suck you in or anything. It's
Yeah.
just dark.
My hand on her shoulder.
Yo, hold on, I'm trying to help the other one. Reach out to me.
You would feel. Are you reaching in? You say
Kind of.
that?
I mean, yeah. At this
into
point,
the
as
darkness?
we're just everybody's devolving into a debate on if we have the real one or not. I think that Cammy would just be
Does a 24 hit you?
Reach
No.
out and touch me.
Cammy disappears into the dark.
Whoa!
No!
As something clearly yanks her inside.
I'm going in.
You also take 12 points of negative damage. The hand doesn't hurt you physically. It's a tiny little child hand. Feels like it's super malnourished, bony, but you feel this shock in your very soul as you get yanked in here. And make me a will save.
Okay. That's a 13 on the die, so 21.
21. You feel your breath catch in your throat. And you can barely speak. Your voice is super weak.
Something got me.
It's gonna be initiative because I'm going in.
All right,
Something got
let's
me.
roll some initiative and see
So you hold on to like a chain or something as
what
well. As we gotta pull
happens
people out.
here. Yeah, roll initiative at this point, I think.
Wish I still had
And
the
he
fire.
just went, so I'll put him at the bottom.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, it's appropriate.
That's fair. I'm keeping that.
All right, we'll go around the other way this time. Easy.
9 plus 7, so 16.
16, Cammy.
That's a 7.
Trey.
14.
14. MD.
20.
20. Marius.
25.
25. As you get pulled in and you feel your voice start to catch this tiny little hand tugging, it has like no strength behind it. It's not even stronger than you. It's almost like a compulsion that pulls you in more than a physical force. And you stumble into this complete blackness, Cammy. And then behind this hand, you feel tiny little teeth on the side of your hand. I don't have any villain points. It's only going to be a 16. I have 3. I have 3 villain points? I'm absolutely spending a villain point. Never mind.
Sorry.
I'm sorry.
I have all these villain points? Okay, villain points are awesome.
What has Sully done to you?
It's going to be a dirty 20.
Yeah, that hits.
She can throw a real life hypothetically.
I mean, to be fair, you just made him waste a villain point.
That's not a villain point.
No, you.
Yeah, you were going to take
But it's her birthday.
7 points of piercing damage as this hand kind of bites down on you. Little
getting
teeth just kind of
nibbled on by a
pierce,
puppy.
punching. It is like a puppy, kind of. It's not a really hard bite. The teeth are just really sharp. And I need you to make me a fortitude save.
Okay. 19 on the die, 24.
24 is good. 24 is a success. You're enfeebled 1.
Let
And
me
you
look
feel
at-
yourself, it's a
Strength
basically
penalty.
strength penalty. You
Ow.
feel yourself kind of stumble and falter a little bit as you forcibly, against your will, exhale all the breath out of your lungs. And you hear MD's voice right next to you. Don't leave me. Stay here, please. Marius, you see Trey going into the darkness. Cammy disappeared.
I guess was Cammy like pulled out of MD's hands? Like
She got yoinked.
okay.
Ooh.
And
That's a spooky little thing right there, ain't it?
I love these monsters, by
There's,
the way.
there's
They're
so much,
so
there's so
creepy.
much
Oh
flavor.
my god.
and you're in there now?
Well, initiative is me like going
Yeah.
in.
Yeah, he's clearly going in.
So you're reacting before me.
You could, yeah, you react to him going to stride through.
Yeah, you see.
Because
it-
like in character, this all happens at the same time.
Yeah. We gotta like tie you, like hold a chain or
Still
something
has
to
the chain.
be able to pull you back out.
It's still between MD
if
and
you're
Trey.
going
Yeah.
in, yeah, then we need to be able to pull you back out somehow.
There's no time for that.
I'm gonna hold my turn.
Okay, MD then.
I'm diving in.
MD, as you head into
I
the
just
darkness,
Look at Trey.
you can you hear Cammy's voice. Well, you hear Cammy's voice and your voice both coming out from a point somewhere in front of you. You can head towards the source of the sound. While the pitch darkness around here is impermeable, the source of these voices still leads you to bumble into Cammy and what feels like the small figure of a child that is grabbing onto her. As you kind of, do you have any weapons in your hand? Or you just
I'm free-handed.
you just kind of reach down because you're bumbling through the darkness here. One of your fingers slips through a hole in the top of its head, and you realize that you are feeling a bare skull atop this thing.
Is one of my hands at Cammy.
One of your hands hits Cammy.
I'm just gonna grab her and then pull the chain twice.
Okay.
I'm holding on to his arm like a sloth. Like I'm gonna, my legs are gonna hop up and wrap
Free
around.
myself to be dragged back with no resistance.
Cammy's all right. Easy.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna look into the darkness that all my friends went into, and I'm gonna be like, all right, these colors leave a mark, like initials in bark. I'm hoping that light makes things bright and clears up the dark, and I'm gonna do color spray, just into there.
Okay. If you're gonna throw it in just through the doorway, it's gonna hit Cammy, it's gonna hit MD, and it's gonna hit Debus. So
Not
it's
the
a
child.
what?
Not the child.
Will save for all three of you.
Is this a
God bless,
visual
don't
effect?
hit me.
Is color spray a visual effect? I don't think it
Yes.
actually is. I think it's
Yeah, visual incapacitation.
visual
illusion.
tech. Ooh, okay. As you shoot it through, though, the darkness does. I thought it was just like an actual. I thought it was pretty colors. It was a physical thing. The darkness dissipates it entirely. You two can't see it at all, so you're unaffected. It's actually just Debus that's going to make the save because he's the only one that can
actually-
see
In
it.
his own
Actually
darkness.
makes sense.
Yeah.
He has greater dark vision.
He has. It's his effect vision.
Whoa.
Only has one rating.
Debus is going to get a 23.
Okay.
It's a regular success, probably.
Yeah, so dazzled. Dazzled Debus.
Okay.
It doubled.
And then
Double
my other,
Debus.
my last action is going to be like, if you're feeling afraid of the dark, think of the aardvark. That's it.
I will.
Distraction. That's Inspire Courage.
Yeah.
What's your spell DC?
18.
As you speak your little rhyme here, and usually this kind of steadies everyone's hearts, you hear these whispered sobs again, like a small child crying, emanating out from the darkness. And that seems to kind of take hold and mute this effect. Nobody is going to benefit from Inspire Courage.
Not even myself?
Nope.
What? I'm
It
outside
is,
of
it is counteracted.
Can I counter performance them counter performancing me?
Nothing says you
I don't
can't.
see why not.
He says it again, but louder.
I said.
Think of the aardvark. What? I need a performance check. Okay.
So your performance check versus his counteract check now.
Okay, 7 plus
I think you're getting dispelled,
plus
Chief.
8.
Yeah, I think you're getting countered here.
my
It was a good
counter.
effort. It was a good effort, but you're not able to overcome the despair emanating out from the darkness here. Trey,
Yank.
yank chain. You pull back on this, and as Cammy is clinging to MD and MD is in the darkness, the two of them come tumbling back out into the light of the day room here.
Closes doors.
You shut the doors immediately. Yeah. You can see Cammy clearly has this bite imprint on the side of her hand. It's sunk in pretty deep. It's bleeding
side of my
pretty
head?
badly. Your hand.
Oh my gosh! I was like, what?
No, it's bleeding decently profusely. It was a pretty deep bite like that. The bite was just piercing damage. And as you leave, you feel like you can start to breathe again. You can try to talk. You can go through all the motions. You can breathe perfectly fine, but your voice just doesn't come out. Just nothing happens. You shape the words, and it's just silent. But you hear his voice, still from the darkness. Guys, please, don't leave me here.
This one's a real one. I checked.
Alright, I think we should
Well, you
go
had to
back.
be just in case.
Even if we get through this and we go to the cafeteria, would just need to bring that stuff back anyways. Like, we'd have to go back through the inpatient wing regardless. The cafeteria doesn't connect back, right?
Again, with the maintenance hall being collapsed, it would not. You'd have
Yeah.
all the same problems on the back end.
Yeah, so we need to just...
It really looks like this cafeteria and this possessed room with what is certainly Debus is the only way to and from. As you stand here and discuss, you hear another sound from inside the dark room, what sounds like a fluttering of a page, and a single parchment slides out onto the floor in front of you. A charcoal drawing of a little house, a smiling stick figure, a slightly taller smiling stick figure standing outside it.
I'd rather brave the outside. Go get that damn shadow lantern. Then come back and deal with this.
Yeah, maybe Winter can fix your voice.
So I reckon we're
guess
going
so.
You-
through inpatient.
heading south. Heading down to the day room is a long hall. And as you walk, there is a door on your right before you've actually left this communal area. You can also, those of you with dark vision can see this hall does go well over 100 feet to what must be the very front of the asylum. Those of you that are named easy can see as far as the light goes.
I'm just talking to him like, so if one means yes, and then two if you want to say no.
The little chameleon just appears on MD's shoulder, actually, and just looks up at you, and fans his hands and tilts his head.
They're getting along great.
Oh my gosh, it's going.
And he turns
We're
back.
sitting at the side.
Turns back the rest of the
They're
party.
bonding.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yes, they are bonding.
you,
And to MD.
AMD,
You're one and the same now.
can't speak.
He climbs up and puts the hand on MD's mouth like that.
He can't speak. Yes. No.
No speak.
No, can't speak.
He took his voice.
Yes.
We'll get it back.
Occultism? To acknowledge what that was?
You're investigating. It is actually.
I'm not investigating.
You're investigating, Cam.
I'm investigating.
And you were in there.
I'm investigating.
It is religion. What's your religion modifier?
My religion modifier's a +6.
I also want to do this one. Can
Why
I,
don't you switch to investigating? My
because I want to do it because of this number right
You,
here that says -1.
You have
don't
no
want me
idea
investigating.
what that could have been. With your detecting magic, there is an aura of necromancy now hanging over MD. This effect is magical in nature. It could be theoretically removed. It may wear off on its own. But the origin of what it is or the extent of what it may do, beyond the obvious, unclear.
Could I see her bite mark and see if, like, I don't know if you could, like, recognize, like, pattern, like a mouth pattern?
It definitely,
sort of
the
thing?
way the teeth are arranged, with how deep they punctured, how well they cut the skin, they're clearly sharp and pointed. But with the way that they're arranged around and the size, it's exactly befitting for the mouth of a human child, minus the sharpness.
You've never been bitten by a child.
I'm going to
That's fair.
sit down on the ground, point at Cammy, point at the bruises on my head, point at the bleeding hand she has, and point at Easy.
I should
He wants
help
you.
I
The lizard stands up.
Heal.
Yes.
Break time.
The group of you sit here on the south end of the day room to spend some time patching up your wounds
Yeah,
before
we'll
you
go to the
proceed.
couches.
You haven't
Go
been
to
through.
the couches. Yeah.
Yeah, you got nice couches.
Yeah,
There's
couches.
no cushions on the couches.
Screw the floor. I mean, there's still. Would you rather sit on the floor?
Still
You can
couches.
sit on the floor if that makes you happy. But
I sit on the floor all the time.
you can head over to the couches here. You could sit down at what was once the nice communal area for the patients in Briarstone Asylum. You can take your time, bandaging yourselves up, preparing. You have made some grand discoveries here. You have, well, almost certainly found Debus. He is still here, in some extent. You have almost definitely found a way through to the cafeteria and the kitchen. It's just the first problem for that. But you have found medicines and tools for Tolman to work with. That is something big. The survivors back at the chapel desperately need.
All it cost me was my voice.
All it cost you was your
I'm like,
voice.
Oh
I'm
my
like a
gosh.
little mermaid.
yeah.
So as you sit, attend to the worst of your wounds, figure out how we're going to get back through Impatient next week.
This wasn't 3 hours.
This
You're
was
lying to me.
profoundly
No.
According to the
I
clock.
3
refuse.
hours.
I'll sit
We could
here
just
until
play-
you start DMing again.
Well, I will be back
3 more.
next week.
I'm down.
I would be down. I would continue going. That is a thing. I would be happy to do, but we went to 3-hour sessions for a reason. I think they are.
The reason is so that I'm disappointed we don't play for 4.
You don't
40's not sustainable.
No, 4.
Oh, 4. 4 was a lot. I do like the 3s because the 3s and then we're all like, oh man, that was only 3, and the 4s then we're like, okay,
end,
that
and
was.
I'm just like, oh man, I can't wait to play some more because I'm a psychopath.
That's all he does. We put him on a charging dock.
That's why we're in the asylum.
This is a charging dock right here.
It seems like it's going to be difficult for us to find a way. We're going to need to forge a new way back to the chapel, but Impatient should lead us to one. And then if we find a way through this room,
Hey, you know, if we still had
big
like
progress.
15 alchemist fires, this wouldn't be a problem.
I'm so
how
glad.
would that help?
The room is now on fire constantly for the next hour.
We just burned down the baby.
Why don't all your plans come to throw an unconscious person at it and see what happens, or just throw a bunch of firebombs at it and see what
No,
happens?
no, no.
Because
How
it keeps
effective
working.
fire
Yeah, we're
is?
alive.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's fair. It's basic
made it
pattern
this far.
recognition,
Yeah,
I guess.
if it's not
I can't
broken,
fault you for
Don't
that.
fix it.
I can't fault you for that.
That's their plan. My plan is to walk in first.
Thank you
Yeah.
for joining us, everybody. We'll be back next week, 3 p.m. Eastern, every Saturday, until we have found our way out of Briarstone Asylum or died trying. If you want some more Undeniably Good Time tabletop good news, tomorrow we have the finale of our adventures through Sentima. That's going to be an hour later than this show starts, 4 p.m. Eastern, still right here. See how the adventures of our weird bug friends in our weird bug world of Sentima Sundered Wilds
I reckon that's going to be a good old time right now.
come to a conclusion. And then, more Pathfinder 2-y, more spooky, haunted, Pharasman-themed adventures.
Yeah,
Spooky,
yeah,
scary
Which is way
skeletons.
more of a recurring theme than I thought it was going to be across our campaigns, because I didn't know anything about Malevolence, but here we are. With Sully over here running that campaign Monday evenings starting at 7 p.m. Eastern. We got a lot of content coming through. It's all real good. I'm so excited to move into the next chapter of this too, because boy, there's so many fun things still waiting in this story. Enjoy your weekends, everybody. Good night.